Whoa. Sorry. Hopefully that has fixed the audio. Let me know in the chat if that's all good. Yep, all good. All right, well, welcome to the Game Week 9 Deadline stream. Lots to get through today. A lot of team news out there, so sorry for being a little bit late. I was just dotting the I's and crossing the T's on the final bits of team news today. And you stayed up. You should be getting some sleep. Okay, let me just pull you up quickly before I do a full shebang on a lot of the news. And I'll talk through my team as well, and I'll talk through a few of the transfers that I'm looking to do this week. 8074. Luca, 4 transfers this week. Have you made any transfers have you made any transfers so far this week, or are you looking to make a decision on who you're going to be moving in and out? No, still have 4. Okay. Well, looking at the team, I think Raya in goal, I think no changes required. Senesi, Van Dijk, I'm probably fine with. I mean, you're probably not going to move Rodon just as the 4 mil defender at this time. So Romero, Lacroix are the 2. Did I enjoy watching Palace lose in person? We'll come to that. I was at Selhurst Park last night for Palace's first home game in the Conference League, so I do have a lot to talk about, especially from a Palace side of things and what players are looking good. Hello to everyone in the chat. Patrick, I will come through to your questions, mate. GV, Abdullah, Quex, great to see all you guys. I'll go through all the teams in a sec. Let me just go through Luca quickly before you get some sleep. So, in your midfield, mate, Bruno, Gakpo, I like. Semenyo as well. Kudus and Reinders are probably the 2 that I'd be looking at. And the same in the strike force. I like Mateta, I like Haaland. João Pedro is probably the one that I'd be looking at. So, of the people that we've spoken about there, Kudus, Reinders, JP, Romero, and potentially Lacroix are the 5 that I would be considering moving. I probably just wouldn't move Lacroix just based off Palace's fixtures going forwards, and that maybe are not as comfortable with Romero. Romero is out and not fit for this game this week. Marvel, if you send your team ID below in the chat, then I can pull it up on screen like I've got for Lucas, and I'll talk through your team with you. So just chuck your team ID in there. Jan, hey mate, how you going? Kickoff, no giveaways this week, mate. I literally have to run for beers with some mates immediately at 6:30 once the deadline finishes, so I don't have time to do anything this week. But that does mean there will be a couple next week. We'll also be doing membership giveaways as well next week. So I'll probably give away 5 free memberships as well to the channel. Sorry. So, Luca, looking at that, I think like the main transfers that I'd be looking at here, Romero out, probably Kudus and Reinders, I think, and maybe even João Pedro. With 0.0 in the bank, the move for me is clearly João Pedro down to either a Guiu or a Krupi Jr. And you've just got to decide whether you want to save the extra 0.2 million and go Guiu, or 4.5 and go Krupi. Evan Nilsson also out this week. I think Guiu and Krupi are both going to be starting this week, is my thoughts. I mean, Guiu's not confirmed, but I think Krupi's pretty certain that he's going to be starting this week. I'd imagine that third striker you're not really ever going to be playing anyway. So for me, not really a big deal on who you go for. It's just whether you want to have the extra 0.2 million. Sunderland, in my opinion, have been one of the best defensive teams so far this year. I think they're 3rd for goals conceded in the Premier League so far this season, which absolutely mental stat, I know. But to me, I think there's absolutely no issue with selling João Pedro before that game. I don't think he's been particularly brilliant, and I don't think there's a huge reason to be keeping him in your side, especially against the Sunderland team who have conceded 6 goals so far this year. level with Man City, actually, second for goals conceded. Thanks, Marvel. I'll get to your team. I'll just be going through in a list as well. And then anybody who is a member or does Super Chat, I come to them first, and I just slide them in front in the queue, just so you know how it will go. But stick around, I'll definitely 100% get to your team. Will BJL start over Stroik, Deeper, Calafora, Timber, Jan? BJL probably starts over Stroik this week, I think. I mean, it's a bit of a up-in-the-air call, but I think it's a good opportunity to sort of get him into the team. And I prefer Timber for sure over Calafury. But we can talk a little bit more. Queck's got a beer in my hand, trying to know my moves now. Excellent. Igor, I will pull up your team as well, mate. No worries. So, yeah, Luca, I think what I'm thinking, my views, I think between Krupi and Giu, I'm not particularly fussed. I'm going to go for Giu this week, just because there's actually a chance that, I mean, he gets a run in that side. I know Delap's coming back, but if he starts to perform, like, there is a chance that he gets a run in that side. And if he's starting up front for Chelsea, I mean, that's crazy for 4.3 mil. But same for Krupi. I mean, it is likely he'll have a little bit of a run. The problem is I don't know how long Evan Nilsson is going to be out for at this stage. So I don't know if anybody else has any information on that Evan Nilsson injury or a bit closer to Bournemouth than myself. But yeah, I'm not sure how long it would be. So that's going to save you around about 3 mil, the João Pedro down. And that gives you the option in your midfield to make some upgrades. My suggestions would be Ndai. So my favourite midfielders at the moment are Gakpo, Ndai, and then probably Enzo. So I would maybe say you could go Kudus, Ndai, Reinders to Enzo, or Caicedo. Sort of okay with both. And then Romero out for what I think should be Daniel Munoz. Isaac just received the mugs. They are class. Legend, mate. That's so great to hear. I'll show it on stream in a minute. So I do have a store where I produce like football fan, like mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, etc. Isaac bought 4 of them for him and his mates. So glad that you like them, mate. That's awesome. Josiah, hey mate, I will be pulling up your team as well. Just give us a little bit of time. So yeah, Luca, I think that's what I'm thinking. Sunderland away from home. They lost 2-0 to Burnley and to Man United, but they drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace and they beat Nottingham Forest 2-0 with their 4 away games. Because I know someone asked me about that before. So personally, I think like from a promoted team, that's pretty good. 4 points in 4 games. Yeah, the 2-0 loss to Burnley, unfortunate, but that was also because they probably played a little bit more attacking in that game, as they were probably looking for those 3 points. So I think that's where I would go. I think Munoz for me, and I was talking about being at Selhurst Park last night. Munoz for me is absolutely number 1 defender pick at the moment. Like, obviously, difficult game this week against Arsenal, but long term, if you're looking at a defender, like basically from game week 10 onwards, is the number 1 defender in FPL by miles, in my opinion, by absolutely miles. Like, you should have seen the position. He was basically plays as a right winger, plus can get DEFCON, plus Palace are decent defensively. Like, it's a no-brainer for me having Munoz in that side. He was unbelievable. Like, an absolute Duracell battery just running up and down, up and down, up and down. An absolute must-have. He could score a goal, get an assist, get a clean sheet, get DEFCON. Like, he could end up with like 20 pointers. Like, no joke. I think he is must-have. Marvel, is it a good move to transfer Caicedo for Reinders? I'm tired of Reinders. Yeah, I really like Caicedo. I think he's up there in my top midfield picks. I think probably my top 6 midfielders would include Caicedo. I think it's Bruno, Gakpo, Semenyo, Enzo, Ndai, Caicedo. Those are probably the top 6 going forwards. I might have maybe Minte as well, but he's a bit more of an outside pick. But yeah, I do really like Caicedo as well. So I think that's my thought. To be honest, Luca, those are my thoughts. Those would be my 4 transfers: Romero to Munoz, João Pedro to Giu or Krupi, Kudus to Ndai, and Reinders to an Enzo or a Caicedo. And also for those of you that listen to other people talk crap on the internet, Enzo is on penalties for Chelsea at the moment. He gave one to Esteval, but he's on penalties for Chelsea. He also took the first one. So, like, just anyone talking crap, just ignore them. He will be taking penalties. Good day, Bernie. What's up, mate? Good to see you in the chat. So what are your thoughts, Luke? Are you happy with that? I was thinking of doing this next week when I have 5 free transfers: Romero, Reinders, Kudus, Lacroix, and JP, Timber, Eze, Obi, Sarr, and Munoz. I'd say no point going Obi. You might as well go Guiu. Like, he's actually going to get some minutes at Chelsea. Sarr, for me, again, watching that Palace game, I think like Sarr's great in transition, but when teams sit back against Palace and play like a lower block, he didn't know what to do. He couldn't play last night against Larnaca. Like, he looked gassed as well at the end of the game, like gassed playing the 90 minutes. I would definitely prefer Mateta over Sarr, and I wouldn't go double Palace attack. I know that all the XG stats and everything, but like this is coming from actually watching football. And Palace obviously had like very high XG from their last game against Bournemouth. But teams are not going to continue to play like that against Palace. Like, teams are going to set up defensively against them a little bit differently as the season progresses. That they're not going to be able to get the chances that they have been getting. And I'll tell you what, if Adam Wharton is out for any period of time, they're going to really struggle. Like, he's the one that moves the ball quickly for them. And he made a huge difference last night when he came on against Larnaca. Jadon Anthony or Sarr to play in starting 11 this week. Jadon Anthony. It's a tough one because, like, I'd go Jadon Anthony this week, I think. Yeah, I'd go Jadon Anthony. So you're planning on doing nothing this week then, Luke? So I'd struggle to advise that for you. But I guess if you're going Kudus out to someone, maybe you could even go. I don't really like the Sarr pick. Do you think I triple up and pass by keeping well with double defence with Munoz? I would just triple Palace and just go Lacroix and Munoz, and just leave it open to move Lacroix out in the future. Like, I think Palace's fixtures are good enough to go double defence, and Munoz, the fact that he can get DEFCON as well. Obviously, I'd rather have Chris Richards over Lacroix, but I think it's just not worth the transfer out. Like, I think if you're going Romero to Munoz, you just leave Lacroix for now, because he's probably fine to keep over the good Palace fixture run. I wouldn't get Van Dijk for Gabriel, no, just because you never know if Arteta is being serious. And Gabriel long term, great pick. Yes, Sandri, I will come to your team. Sorry, I'm a bit slow going through the teams at the moment. I just like trying to solve this with Luca quickly. Obviously, long term subscriber needs to get in with a membership, Luca, mate. Give me back 5 of Munoz, Lacroix, VVD, Timber, and Rodon. Yeah, I think that's good. I think you can play for it at the back a lot of weeks. I think that's a good option to be going for at the back. Gabriel, a doubt for this week, but you just never know with Arteta, honestly. Like, he just never gives you any useful information. Like, Gabriel could start. So, take with a pinch of salt. But, yeah, I mean, plan for him being out that you have somebody on the bench. But no need to get rid of Gabriel. So, yeah, Luca, I mean, like, maybe then the only transfer you move is who's going to be the midfielder you move Kudus for. Or you move Reinders to Caicedo. Do you have the money to do that? 0.0 in the bank. What's Caicedo's? He might be a little bit more expensive, isn't he? Reinders is at 5.7. I think Caicedo's 5.8 or 5.9. Yeah, I just feel like Kudus v Everton's a tough one. Also, like, I just don't feel like he's much of a goal threat. He's more of a creative assist threat. All right, thanks, Luca. Yeah, I think yeah, that's good. All right, guys. Let me just make a list of all the team IDs quickly on the side, and then I'll come back to you guys, and then I'll pull up all the teams. Sorry. So I'll just go through in order what we got. Abdullah. Quex. Quex, where's your membership badge, mate? Are you still a member of this channel? You keep telling me you're a member of this channel, but your membership badges are no longer there. Marvel. Oh, sorry. Someone was in between Quex and Marvel. Igor. 83323. So I'll pull up Abdullah for now, and then it'll be Josiah. So members basically skip the queue and go first in this chat. So if you do want to become a member, feel free to sign up. It also gives you access to our WhatsApp group chat, which is pretty active all the time, and also the FPL API data, which is where I have all of the like DEFCON, all of the data that I produce in the videos, automatically linked to the FPL website, so you get it before all of the other sites as well. Like all of these, to be honest, like Fantasy Football Scout, Fantasy Football Hub, like none of them are as accurate either, because mine's just straight out of FPL immediately as soon as the game's finished. It goes in. So honestly, like, I recommend my membership because it's worth it, and it's only like $3 a month. Josiah, Patrick, 313. So many people in the chat early on today. I actually did a 3-hour one because I felt like I was talking for so long last week when I did 4 hours. Sandri. Okay, plenty of people to get through. G'day, mate. Crikey. Dusty, welcome, mate. One of the new members. Great to have you. Brycey, hey, mate. Slot you in. Bryce, flick through your team ID, mate. I just, like, my brain's melt this week, so you'll have to send it to me. GV, Adam, I've decided to go for Malik Thior. Good suggestion. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I thought he was nice at the Newcastle. I'm not the hugest fan of the Newcastle defence at the moment, just because DEFCON-wise they're not brilliant, but Malik Thior probably stands out, and I think he is probably a little bit more nailed than Botman when Livermento comes back into that left-back role. Dan Burn probably goes back CB with Malik Thior. Maybe Dan Burn even comes out, given that Thior and Botman have been playing there together. Can I be the mod, Adam? Yeah, Abdullah, let's chat about it next week, mate. Just send me a DM. Happy to have you and Paul doing that, given you're on all the streams. So, yeah, it's no problem. Radu, what's up? Okay, so anyway, let's go through this. Let's go through this team. So thoughts for this week, Abdullah? What are your transfer plans? You have. This was wildcard. How many free transfers you got then? Let me just check last week. You didn't have any. Okay, so you just got the one free transfer this week. Capsy, hello, mate. How are you? Good to have you in here, mate. Good to have you. Was initially planning to bench brief for one free transfer this week, and obviously the Gabriel news is a bit of a nightmare. Anderson out as well, so probably not going to be bench boosting, I'm assuming. Hope Senesi. Yeah, I mean, I'd just go Senesi, Gabriel, Timber, Semenyo, Saka. Semenyo, Saka, Enzo, Reinders. I'd play this week personally. I think he might be good in a fast-paced transition game. Strand, Larson, João Pedro, Haaland. Yeah, I mean, probably I'd say. I'd probably say bench Saar. Yeah, the bench boost is the worst chip. Marvel, sorry, Esteve or Tarkowski because Burnley playing Wolves. Yeah, probably Esteve. Yeah, probably Esteve. All right, let's try and run through something. I've got so many to get through now that you're making me nervous because I only did a 3-hour stream today rather than 4. Edvix, yeah, I'll get you in, mate. I'll get you in. No problem. Abdullah. Dusty. I would probably not take Gabriel out. I don't think he's going to play, but I wouldn't remove him because I just think he's a good long-term pick. Best prior replacement under 5.6, Radu Munoz, mate. Munoz. My number one defender transfer, Munoz. I know difficult game for him this week, but long-term, Munoz. Cap, there's so many people, mate. There's so many people. FPL Hippie from Blue Sky. What's up, mate? Thanks for always joining the stream. What I need from you, FPL Hippie, is for you to give me your team ID so we can talk through your team, because I'm pretty sure you're doing quite well. So it would be good to chat through, mate. I know you always join my sweet streams, so it would be nice to have you talking through maybe one day, even if you want to come on and do a show with me. Radu, you already have him. Maybe Senesi, mate. You probably have Senesi as well. Let me have a think, Radu. I'll come back to it when I do your team. Marvel, yeah, you're on the list, mate. I've got a couple of members to get through first. The list is Abdullah, Quex, Igor, Marvel, Josiah, Patrick, Isaac, Sandri, Bryce, Radu, Capsy, Edvix. Obviously, members not in that order. You'll skip the queue. Sorry, I'm on super speed at the moment. Don't play me on ×2. I'm going to be too fast for YouTube. So yeah, I think this week Abdullah, Senesi, Gabriel, Timber at the back, Mukiele first on bench probably, or like first defender, in case Gabriel's out. I don't mind Mukiele against Chelsea. Alderet's out as well, so he's probably going to play centre back. So he's probably going to pick up the DEFCON. Midfield, probably bench Sarr. It'd be Semenyo, Saka, Reinders, and Enzo, and then Strand Larson, João Pedro, Haaland up top. Longer term, Reinders probably comes out of your midfield for me. I think this week's all right for him. I think it's a decent fixture. I think they can get some joy against Aston Villa and a bit of transition. So I don't mind it too much. I'd probably roll. Don't play a bench boost. Have 2 free transfers for next week, where I'd work out how to get Munoz in that team for Anderson. No, maybe not. Yeah, potentially for Anderson if he's out, or if Gabriel's out longer term for Gabriel. And then I'd probably move Reinders to a Caicedo, something like that. Not sure if you have the money for that, but yeah, maybe downgrade a striker again, like I've been talking about, going to the 2 striker options to get yourself a bit more in the bank. Bryce played Dubravka or Donnarumma this week. Ooh, yuck. Dubravka, Donnarumma. City have been good defensively this season, actually. Okay, next up, Josiah. Gonna do members first. Josiah, you here, yeah? Wolves are so crap. Yeah, I know, I kind of agree. But Vitor Pereira did say that Jurgen Strand-Larsen's feeling better now and like getting into himself. Bellegarde's fit, Hwang Hee-chan's fit. They do have quite a lot of guys flying around. Josiah, 3 free transfers. Good bench boost last week, 68. I mean, decent bench boost, I guess. Bit annoying about Enzo. Oh, yeah, shit. This was the one where we took a bit of a gamble. But Green Arrow, I mean, you got the 9 for Dubravka off the bench, which at least is good. I mean, realistically, if you get over 10 points on the bench, like, it's a decent bench boost. I remember thinking this immediately after the stream when I saw the Chelsea, and I was like, I feel really bad because I knew we took a bit of a gamble. But, I mean, it's good to get that bench boost out of the way, and I think for your team as well. Owen McCormack, dedication, up so late. I'm at 130k and played my wildcard this week, worried about Gabriel. Yeah, if you played your wildcard, I'd probably still have Gabriel in. I mean, I don't think he's going to play, but I'd have him in. Robbie, what's up, mate? Just so I was thinking Reinders and Gyökeres to Woltemade and Fernandez. Reinders, Gyökeres, Woltemade, Fernandez. Yeah, man, you just have so much money in that side. What's your midfield? Caicedo, Semenyo, Gakpo, Enzo. Those are like 4 of my top 6. And you're saying you're going Reinders to Fernandez. That would be 5 of my top 6 in your midfield. So, I mean, I like it. Who's the other one? And Die. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like Fernandez. I like your midfield. Yeah, I like that option. And then just have enough money to get Munoz in for Van de Ven next week. Can you just? Yeah, no. Who's Spurs got against Everton? Yeah, Spurs Everton. Yeah. Oh, Saka. Yeah, Saka's the other one that I'm missing. Yeah, Saka. So those are my top 7. I think I even rested my defence because I wish I'd go Saka somehow too instead of maybe Caicedo. No, I like Caicedo and Enzo, mate. I think they're both nice picks. I think what you could do if you did want to get to Saka is you just go Gyökeres to Guiu. You go Guiu or Krupi, and you've got that money. I mean, you got quite a lot of money, but I don't think you need 3 strikers really. Like, I mean, I'm not convinced by João Pedro. Honestly, this week you could go João Pedro out for a Guiu, keep Gyökeres for an extra week, then move him in the future. But 3 free transfers, you'll have another one next week to make 2 with. So I think your alternate option here is to go. Would you be able to play 4 at the back? Well, you'd be able to play 5 in midfield this week. So you could play Calafiori, Timber, Senesi, and then 5 midfielders, and then João Pedro and Haaland up top. If you just dumped Gyökeres for a Guiu or Creepy. And then if you wanted to upgrade Reinders to Saka, you could. I mean, you'd have to dump Gyökeres for Guiu or Creepy, and then you could upgrade Reinders to Saka if you wanted to. And then I would like to think that you've still got enough money next week to go Van de Ven to Munoz. And I think that's really quite nice. It's probably what I'd do, Josiah. I think if that's what you want and you want Saka in there, why not just go Reinders to Saka, Gyökeres down to Creepy or Guiu. Just work out how much money you need, and then next week next week you've got to be able to go Van de Ven to Munoz. Do I think Saka is better than Fernandez? I think that's really close, to be honest. I mean, you could get. Can you afford both of them? Like, if you were to do that, downgrade Gyökeres to Creepy, that's what? How much would that be? 4.5 million, basically. You'd have 5.2, 6.2 in the bank. Then you upgrade Reinders to Saka, who's at 6.2. What's Saka at these days? Is it 10? Wow. 6.2. So it's 4.3 out of that. You'd have 1.9 in the bank. 1.9. Can you get any of these up to Bruno? You could maybe go Gakpo up to Bruno, but I like Gakpo, so you probably don't have the money to go to Bruno and Saka. But I like your defence. I don't think you've overinvested. Yeah, get rid of João Pedro, man. Lindsay, just slam him down to a Guiu or a Creepy. That's what I'm doing this week. Rob, mate, you really are my hero. I genuinely think you're my hero. You make it worth turning up. I mean, to be honest, it's worth turning up to these streams anyway for all of you guys. But Rob, you're a legend, mate. Thank you so much for the super chat. And did you ask for your team? What did I just call you? I don't know what I called you. Legend, mate. Thanks so much. Yeah, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Massively appreciate. Just a small channel trying to grow at the moment. Really putting the work in and trying to like make it good for you guys, especially on these streams. Back 5 of Senesi, VVD, Timber, Munoz, and Lacroix overkill. Yeah, I think you need one 4 million defender in there. It would probably be, out of those, it would most likely be Lacroix. Lacroix down. But a VVD down also is very reasonable in that. Back 5, Luca. Yeah, good pull. Just went to Palace last night, so that was pretty interesting. Had some insightful views after that. Become a member of my Leeds United propaganda has been on hold, so this is the correct time to do it. Plus, we have a members WhatsApp chat. Yeah, and you get access to the FPL API as well, my spreadsheet with all the data, including DEFCON every week updated. She's like, okay, so Krupi and Saka for Gyok and Reinders, and next week get Munoz in for Van der Ven. Yeah, that's what I would do, Josiah. But you could also go Bruno over Saka, if you prefer. Radu, we got a few to get through before you, mate. Marvel, not so many, only 2. Plus, no, actually, Bryce, member. Isaac, Bryce, Quex, Igor, Marvel, because I just got to do the members first. Marvel, sorry. But I definitely will get to your team. Just, you got to bear with me. I like the money. Bruno leaves free, but not sure I even need it to be. I don't think you need the money. If you think Saka's a better option, you definitely go for Saka, definitely go for Saka. I wouldn't worry about money this year. Like, if you're not planning to go to Salah, which, you're not, and no one is, and you got Gakpo anyway, money shouldn't be a problem in your team, and definitely invest in the defence because it's worth it. I think 4 million defender and then like a really good solid 4 that you can play 4 at the back a lot of weeks is gonna be really good. Cool, no worries, mate. Okay, Isaac, you still around? No, you chucked in the chat. Now Rob's in here as well. Beautiful. What did I call you earlier, Rob? I was like Robbo or something. Can't help it, mate. I just talk rubbish. Rob Lightyear. Let's go, mate, shall we? Isaac. Yes, let's go. Oh yeah, Josiah, you need to. I think you need to send me the. Did you send me your WhatsApp, or did you not? Maybe you did. If I didn't add you in, my bad, bro. But otherwise, DM me your WhatsApp and your Gmail. I think you're an elite member, aren't you? Oh, you haven't sent it. Okay, cool. So it wasn't my fault. Yeah. I think you're an elite member. If you're an elite member, send your WhatsApp and Gmail, and I'll add you, mate. It'd be great to have you, actually. You just are. Isaac, you got thoughts this week then, mate? You got 1 free transfer. Hey, he's a Salaman. Wow. All right. How are you doing, Salaman? 1.8k, 1.8 mil. Did Salah to Semenyo, thinking if a -4 is needed, either VDV to Calafiori or Reinders to Saka? Nah. No -4, mate. No -4. Let me just have a think quickly about your teams. Senesi, Burn, Rodon. Probably play this week 3. You got Mateta, Jap, Pedro, Haaland. That's fine. They all play. Reinders will be all right this week. Kudus is not the greatest. Semenyo, Caicedo, and I'd bench King. Yeah, you're in a bit of a tricky spot, Isaac, but I'm not sure I'd take a -4, especially not this week for Saka. Although I do have a feeling that Arsenal might take Palace out a little bit this week. Palace did look very tired in midweek. But I guess they play. Are they Sunday? Or are they Saturday? When's kickoff? Is it Saturday or Sunday? Must be Sunday. A month? Oh yeah, Sunday. Yeah. I don't think you need to do anything else, Isaac, mate. I think you just gotta live with that team. I'm surprised you took Salah out. I mean, I'm not surprised. And Semenyo's been killing it, so it's fine. But yeah, I mean, like I said, my midfield, like best 7 are probably Ndai, Saka, Fernandez, Gakpo, Semenyo, Caicedo, Enzo. Those are my big 7. I'd call them. And not really anyone else I'd be looking at. It's maybe Minte or Foden, but that's probably it. I'm not a big fan of Sarr after watching that Palace game last night. I just think his finishing's got a bit to be. I mean, I've said a lot about people's finishing this year. I've been right, except for Semenyo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were super high last year, weren't you, Isaac? 88k you finished. 88,652. That's what you finished last year. That's mad. I'll still beat you, though. If we win, I think I'll magically start feeling better. Yeah, Leeds, big game this week. Big game for Rhodey, the Roadman. Joe, the Roadman, rode on. Yeah, I think have a think about the transfer next week. My suggestion to you next week is 100% going to be Van de Ven to Munoz. 100%, that's going to be my suggestion. Next week, I would potentially consider a -4 in your team, but not this week. Which website is this? FPL.gameweek, Marvel. Okay, Brycey, you here, mate? Bryce, Rob. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. Rob, naturally, as you super chatted, you can choose to go at any point. I'm just doing members, including you. But if you want to just dive in first. Orange Apple, what's up, man? Good to have you back in the game, back in the chat. Thank you so much for your super chat. And yeah, if you give me your team ID, you will be next. What's up, man? How is things? I think you might not. Yeah. Send me your team ID. You can go next. Bryce, you sold Xavi for Caicedo to avoid price drops. That was very, very astute. I like that. And that was your only transfer. So I like your midfield. Ndai, Fernandez, Foden, Semenyo, and Caicedo. Really nice. Obviously, you've got the Leeds goat, Calvert-Lewin. Is he? Is it? Would you consider him the Leeds goat, Rob? Bench Bowen is going to get man marked tonight. Yeah. He's done for. He's done for against Joe the Roadman Rodon. Trying to play bench boost is a nightmare. Yeah, Gabriel's done you again this week, hasn't he? Yeah, I think. Well, who have Leeds got next week? You got a few Leeds boys. I know you've been playing into Rob's Leeds propaganda here hugely. Brighton's all right. Yeah, Brighton's all right. Brighton's decent. Don't mind too much. Yeah, I guess next week, what are my thoughts for your team would be, hopefully Gabriel will be fine. And then it will be... Rob, mate. Yeah, this is too much of a legend, man. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I really appreciate you. I appreciate Leeds as well. I've never enjoyed Leeds so much since I've had you in my chat. Now I'm following Leeds more than before. Gabriel's not ruled out completely, Brycey. Sorry, Rob. Thank you, man. You are the GOAT as well, mate. He's top guy. Absolutely top guy. I'm glad you enjoy being part of the streams as well. Because we definitely enjoy having you. Yeah, I don't think Gabriel's ruled out completely, mate. They said he had a knock, he came off against Atletico, but you just can't ever trust anything Arteta says. It's one of those ones where the press conferences make no difference with Arsenal. Similar to Eddie Howe a little bit, although Eddie Howe's got a little bit better this year. But like Arteta ones is just like, he might be out, he might not be out. We have no idea. And we're not going to get any early team news for Arsenal because they're the Sunday game. Yeah, last year Gabriel played a ton of times when Arteta said he was injured. That is right. I think even this year he's played 4-4-2-9-5-8. Even this year he's played a few times. So yeah, Bryce, I think next week's going to have to be the bench boost week for you, mate, because you don't really want to leave it till 12. I think next week you're going to have to bench boost. Yeah, maybe you might need to take a -4 next week. But like I wouldn't do it this week with the Gabriel issue. Why Rob sending 49p more than me? Thank you, Orange Apple, my guy. He's just trying to get in front of you in the queue. There's the 49p more. He's just trying to slot back in front of you, and now you've doxed him with the £2. Cap, DCL or Haaland? Yeah, obviously DCL. DCL #1 pick in the game over Haaland for sure. Captain DCL as well. Triple captain if you can this week against West Ham. Yeah, true. Already there with the early Danish. Twill Media got Munoz as first on my bench if Gabriel doesn't play. Mate, get him in your team. Get Munoz in your team. Munoz has got to play every week. Sheriff El Hakim, who to bench? Eze, Virgil, Bowen, or Munoz? Shit. Just after I said Munoz has got to play every week. Can you find someone else to bench? Probably Eze. Nasty. You're happy, Bryce? You're happy? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So don't bench boost this week. Mate, you've obviously made a transfer. Sorry. The team I'd be playing is also Snessi, Gabriel, Rodon. Your 5 across the midfield. And then Calvert-Lewin and Haaland up top. That's probably where I'd go. Morgan Gibbs-White was insane v Porto. Yeah, actually, I didn't catch that midweek game. He also took the pen as well, Morgan Gibbs-White, which was interesting. Orange Apple, let me chuck you in, mate. 442-958. Play Rodon or Senesi this week. Oh, Josiah, that's tough, bro. I think it'd be Senesi though. I've got Senesi in my team. All right, Al. You wildcarded last week, so how many frees did you have? So you just got 1 free transfer this week from the week before. Have you made any transfers yet or no? Otherwise, this team looks quite nice, almost potentially bench boostable, actually. Calafori, Richards, Virgil, Rodon, Sarsemenyo, Saka. I mean, you could bench boost this week. I think you should bench boost. Look, honestly, you want to bench boost, like I would say 10 or 11. Then once you get to 12, like the fixture swing is big, and you also have that like international break as well. And like you want to be able to downgrade one of your 3 strikers and upgrade in the midfield around that time, in my opinion. Like around the 12-13, you want to be spending your transfers going into like Liverpool's, into Man City's, into Newcastle's, into Bournemouth, like those guys that have nice fixtures over that run. You don't want to be spending it trying to sort out a bench boost. So I think just play it this week, get it done. The only other option is to use your bench boost very late after those AFCON transfers come in around in 16. So it'd be like 16, 17 or 18 you play the bench boost. But again, that then pulls you back into that like difficult to get out of situation. I think you can play at 16, 17, 18. But I think this is as good as week as ever to play it. Like game week 11 looks nice, which is my other option, but may just get it gone. Yeah, the one I worry about is Josh King. Is Josh King starting for Fulham in your team, to be honest, Al? That's probably my concern. Like I think everybody else plays. Like they bench Richards midweek for Palace. I mean, Sarr looks absolutely knackered, but I can't see him not playing against Arsenal. Glasner doesn't really rotate that much either. Calafiori, I am still a little bit concerned that he gets rotated at some point with Piero Hincapié. Interesting, though, that I didn't think to double check. I didn't think to double check. I assumed what's his name? Calafiori started for Arsenal against Atletico, but I actually never checked. Lewis Skelly. Okay, so, I mean, yeah, I'd probably say Calafiori starts. Lewis Skelly played full game. If anything, there's a chance of Timber getting rotated, given that he started midweek. Yeah, I think I would bench boost Al. I really do think I would. Have you made your transfer this week? No. Sar, Semenyo, Saka, Enzo. Who's the other mid? Oh, King. Yeah, King. I've got quite a few people to get free cap. Sorry, mate. I'll get there though. Promise. Yeah, it's kind of tough to be honest with your team. I don't have an obvious move for you. Luca, have you posted your plan somewhere? In here. Oh, Romero, Kudus, JP, Timber, Eze, Gu. Why not? Rangers in the Qua, Munoz, and so keep the quad. Okay, well, I mean, definitely you need to get Munoz in, Luca. So, however you do that, I'm okay with. But I think Munoz is even a better pick longer term than Timber. So Romero, Kudus, JP for Timber, Eze, Gu. I'm not convinced by Eze in there. I think Timber, Gu, nice, fine, happy with those two. Kudus, potentially, you could go and die even this week rather than Eze against Palace. I know it's against his old team, but still. I'd probably rather go to Ndai. Or, I can't remember who else we said earlier, but I had that list of like Ndai, Saka, Bruno, Caicedo, Enzo, Semenyo, someone else. I need to just write this list down of players. But yeah, I mean, I would say like Eze, Sarr, Foden probably come a little bit after all of those picks as decent picks. Semenyo. I'm going to write down all the names of these players. Bruno. Enzo, Caicedo, Senyo, Ndai, Bruno, Saka, Gakpo. Would I start Sarr or Rodon? I mean, you're bench boosting, but I'd probably start Rodon. Hey, there you go. Yes, Rob, I got that in before you posted Rodon. I got that in. I was back in the Leeds asset again. Thanks, Josiah. Good luck with your meeting, mate. Good luck this week. Thanks for joining in. Who would you bench if I don't bench boost? It would be King. Yeah, King, Sarr, Calafiori, Richards, Virgil, Rodon. Yeah, King, Sarr, +1. That's all right, mate. It's all right. I can still get through them. I know I got a queue, but like I want to give you good advice, not just run through you, especially at the start. Especially members and super chats. Like I'll take a little bit longer, and then I'll have to rush through a little bit later. But yeah, King Sarr +1. I would bench. I just think Richards is going to get DEFCON, and Palace could keep a clean sheet, and then he'd get a big haul. Almost be King Sarr +1. I think I'm struggling. Free transfer, Hust for a 5 mil mid, and you could go Granit Xhaka. You could go to Granit Xhaka at 5 mil. You'd hold him long term. I think Granit Xhaka at 5 mil is fine if you pick him for just DEFCON. That is what you could do, Al. That's the other plan. Yeah, Bijal could start this week. Jan Gu, Creepy, Ultimada for Watkins and Timber for Bijal. Oh. Timber for Bijal. I didn't understand that, sorry. Yeah, could do. Seems a bit pointless, but may pay off. Yeah, it's just more for that bench boost to go Xhaka to make sure you get the 2 plus maybe another 2 for DEFCON, as he's been racking them up. He's very good for DEFCON. Florentino Luis instead of Xhaka. Yeah, just like not enough data on him, in my opinion, yet, but like also similar to Xhaka. But I just think Xhaka maybe has a little bit more threat from a like maybe assist potential. Like he's very influential in that team. Short term, Florentino Luis has got some good stats, but just because there's a bigger sample size, I prefer Xhaka, and I know more about him than Florentino Luis, to be honest. That is a bit maybe my lack of knowledge on him. I never watched him before he came to the Premier League, so he's a bit of a new one for me. But yeah, no worries. Thanks, Al. Okay, just saw Al, Bryce, done, Rob. 1, 3, 4, 8, 3. Where's my talk about Longstaff? We talked about Longstaff, didn't we? Interestingly, TED Talks are coming Patreon exclusives. Interestingly, Daniel Farke in the presser was talking about Anton Stack has been playing with like is it a broken rib or a bruised rib for a while, and they think that he's going to slowly become more and more important. Marvel, I think, just 2 more and then you. Sandri, you're in the list. There's just a few to get through before you. You're just going to have to hang tough with me. We'll get to you guys. I'm clearing out people. And sometimes people don't hang around either, and then you just get bumped up in the list. So the list at the moment, for those of you that care, Quex, Igor, Marvel, Patrick, Sandri, Radu, Capsi, Edvix. And if I've missed anyone, now is the time to tell me. Yeah, I'll never skip over you. I'll call you out, and if you're not there, can come back to you after. But generally, if you miss it, it's a bit more of a pain. Edvin, thank you, my friend. Edvin, chuck your team ID in again, mate. I think you're after Edvix, right? All right, Rob, 1 free transfer this week. Goodmanson, Kukurea, Munoz. Sorry, Edwin. My bad, bro. Oh, JS as well. Sorry, JS and Edwin. JS 64299. Seven 5 6 4 7 9 3. All right, where we? Also back was getting on the bus. Sorry, Adam. Rob, yeah, time for you, mate. Good timing. No worries. What are we saying? You got 1 free transfer this week. I'm thinking like Sanchez is fine, Kukurea is fine, Timber's fine, Goodmanson probably play. You're gonna play Goodmanson, aren't you? Munoz, I'd love to get him in that side for you this week. Midfield, Kudasaka, Semenyo, probably not going to play Stack, but I mean, you might think otherwise. I'd probably play Reinders, and I'd go 4-4-2. Oh, that's what I'd go. I'd go Goodmanson, Kukurea, Munoz, Timber, Kudasaka, Semenyo, Reinders, Haaland, Gyökeres, Stack, Trufer, Obi on the bench. Yeah, I got you, Edwin. I got you. I know where you are. It was Edvix JS and then you. Is Gabriel 100% guaranteed to start? Someone says he's a doubt. Yeah, he is a doubt, Ken. But the thing is with Arteta is you can never trust what he says. He obviously came off midweek against Atletico. He had a bit of a knock. They said he's a doubt, hadn't trained by Friday. Like he could play, he might not play. Like it's anyone's guess. You can never just Arteta just never tells you the answer, to be honest. Yeah, Statch will play. Farke actually said that he has got more fit from his injury, so he's hoping that he'll be doing better this week. I bet Saar MSK. Rob, stop it. Good bench picker, but he's a penalty taker, so that's why I wouldn't bench him. Otherwise, obviously, the lead. Oh, Lucas Radaby. Oh, my God. Were we not talking about him the other week? Like, best ever centre-backs? Lucas Radaby. Unbelievable. Pirate replacement, already have Senesi, Munoz, Gabriel, and Goodmanson. Who do I start out of these? I'd start all 4 of them. And then you wouldn't need to replace Porro Radu. Sorry, Saar and who? How many were you supposed to bench? Oh, which 2? Oh, sorry. Saar and Paqueta. Yeah, Saar and Paqueta. That's easy. Rob, mate, transfer this week. What are we saying? Is it time to upgrade stat, or do you just roll and have 2 for next week? I think that could be the way to go. I think your team's alright. Right, Kudus could move to an Enzo or a Gakpo, or you could upgrade Stack to one of the same. But then you have to work with who you bench. Well, I'd probably bench Kudus in that. Yeah, I mean Kudus is probably the upgrade that you make. I'm assuming you're not going to want to move Stash out of this side. I think you can if you're happy with playing Kudus, I think you can roll. If you'd rather a Enzo, Caicedo, Gakpo, then you make the transfer. Start Munoz v Arsenal. Yeah, start Munoz every week of the year. Literally. Anything could happen. I don't think Kudus is going to explode. I don't think he is, because he's not very like a... touch wood, because I've just taken him out. He's not much of a goal threat, in my opinion. I think he's more like an assist threat. And every time he does bloody score, he's offside. So yeah, for me, I'd just say Kudus is probably one. I'm transferring him out this week for Gakpo. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to bench Kudus for Statch, then there's obviously no point making the transfer. Otherwise, I think that's my advice, Rob. Like, transfer either Kudus or Statch out for someone nice and play them. I would probably say transfer Kudus out for a Gakpo or a Ndai or a Bruno or an Enzo or a Caicedo. Personally, I'd go Gakpo. I am doing that this week. That is my move. Otherwise, yeah, perfect. I think you roll. Star, mate, we got plenty to go. Sorry, brother. Okay, Rob. Quex, you here? Captain shouts this week. Just Haaland. Quex, if you're here. Quex, Igor, or Marvel. Any of you guys. Thanks, Star. Adam, I need to decide how to get Rodon and Sar into my team. If you can help when you can. Yep, well, let me just do this one, Paul, and then I'll come straight to you. I think I'll just do Marvel since he's been here since right at the start and very active as well. And then, yeah, Quex and Igor, if you're around, let me know. And then Paul, I'll just do you next, as you remember. Rodon into the team. Wild. Ustic Mera. Lovely name. Doing great so far, mate. 1.1 mil. Now, Sandri, I've got a few more to go before you. Well, actually, I might not have that many. It might just be Patrick and then you if Quex and Igor are not about. So I've got to do Paul next, and then yeah, Patrick, and then probably you. Okay, Marvel. 1 free transfer. Raya, Tarkowski, Senesi, Gabriel, Anthony. Okay. This is a nice team. Tarko, Senesi, Gabriel, Virgil, Estev. Wow, that back 5 is tough to drop anyone this week, isn't it? Everton v Sunderland. Maybe Tarkovsky. Fuck up. Wait. Everton Sunderland next week, innit? Yeah, you got Wolves. And Everton got Spurs. I just don't know about that. I think Tarkovsky's going to get Devcon against Spurs. Gabriel. I'd almost play a back five. Semenyo. Anthony. Shit, man, that's crazy. I'm not going to lie, I'd consider playing a back five. Star, how many people before you? I think at the moment it's looking like 7. But there's a couple of people that have just gone absent. Star, that was for you. Back five is a bit wild, isn't it? But I'd probably play it. It'd be like if I was going to bench someone in your defence, it's probably going to have to be between Senesi and Tarkovsky. Midfield, Semenyo's got to play. I'd probably be benching Sarr and Kudus. Maybe Sarr's Kudus I would bench. Reinders I like v Villa. Jaden Anthony I kind of do like, but Burnley I think I would just bench him. Quex, you are here. And you do have your member badge. Why have you been hiding it, Quex? You're back, baby. I'll pull you up. I just got Paul and then I'll do you, Quex. Far out, mate. This is hard. It's a shame you bench boost last week. It'd have been a good bench boost team this week. Should I get Caicedo instead of Reinders? I don't think you need to make a transfer this week. I think you got so many like when you have these sort of benching headaches, you just roll your transfer. I mean, just don't. The thing is like they got good fixtures, but I don't like some of the players. Like this is my view right at the moment. I'll tell you my view on your team. Tarkovsky most likely gets Defcon. Senesi most likely gets Defcon. Gabriel, probably doesn't get Defcon, but might keep a clean sheet. Virgil, clean sheet and Defcon. I think he's got to play. He could do both. Estev could also do both. So I think he's got to play. I think Virgil and Estev, they've got to play. Gabriel, if you don't think he's going to get a clean sheet, don't play him. Senesi and Tarkovsky are there for Defcon. In your midfield, Sarr, I think the matchup against Arsenal, obviously Arsenal are going to be attacking a lot. Sarr's going to be good on the counter. He was flagging midweek for Palace against Larnaca. Like, he was really tired. And I think Arsenal are a great defence, so I'd probably end up benching him. But the style of play and how Arsenal are going to play against Palace is productive to how Sarr likes to play and the spaces he likes to get to. But I'd still bench him despite that, because I'm backing Arsenal. Reinders, I think, against Aston Villa is going to have space. It's going to be a little bit more... he's going to be able to run a little bit more. But he's just not been brilliant of late, and I potentially would maybe bench him. Semenyo in, got to be in. Kudus, Everton, very good defence. Like, Spurs are not a team that are going to be brilliant at breaking that down. Kudus is going to get quite a bit of the ball out there on the right. Not really a goal threat, but definitely could get an assist. Not really great for much more, in my opinion, especially against Everton. João Pedro, Sunderland have been good defensively. Anthony, great fixture. But Burnley, how many goals do they score? MCAC's no problem, mate. Also, hey, drive safe. João Pedro's probably going to drop into the 10. I think Guiu starts up top. Maybe he'll be a little bit nicer this week. But Sunderland, great defensively so far this season. Gyökeres, more confidence post-midweek. Difficult game up against Palace. They're also going to sit in a low block where he finds it difficult. He's better in transition. Is it because Palace are tired? When Palace bomb forwards on the counter, can Arsenal recapture them in transition? That's going to be really interesting. If so, Gyökeres could be decent. Haaland, obviously, GOAT. So in your team, I think must picks: Raya, Virgil, Estev, Semenyo, Haaland. That's 5. Probably, I'd probably play Gyok 6. I think I'd play Tarkovsky 7. Honestly, I'd play a back 5. I'd play a back 5, Semenyo. I'd play 5-2-3. I'd play Semenyo and Kudus. I'd play Semenyo plus one of the midfielders, whoever you want, and then the front three. I'd actually play 5-2-3 in this team. Ridiculous, but insane. Quex, my guy. Thank you so much. Cody, hello, mate. How are you? Quex is back on the train, in the station. In the station, mate. Great to have you back on the train. Had to be a back 5, Paul. Would I bench Gabriel for either Goodmanson or Anderson? No, Anderson's injured, Ken, so I wouldn't. I'd still play Gabriel. I think he probably doesn't start, and then Goodmanson comes on. Where am I from? Oh, I am the English Aussie, my friend. Don't know if you can see that. Born in England, live in Australia. Play for the Cyprus cricket team. John, yeah, flick me in. You think, how about Caicedo for Reinders? Then I can play Caicedo and Semenyo. Yeah, don't mind that, Marvel. Don't mind that. Happy with that. Definitely happy with that. Yes, Quex. I'm just like, actually, Paul, can you send me your team ID? Let me just do. Did you send it, Paul? Sorry, man. I don't have the brain capacity right now. My cricket tour starts. I normally know your one, Paul. My cricket tour starts 31st of October. Yes, Quex, you're next, mate. You're next. Like and subscribe. Adam has generally transformed my terrible start to almost being under 1 mil. Under 1 mil this week, Rob. Come on, let's get it done. So Anthony is bad against Wolves, Marvel. No, I don't think he's bad. I just think it's Burnley. They don't score that many goals. I think he's an option. If you'd rather roll the transfer, play Anthony, I don't mind that. I think that's fine. I actually think that's completely reasonable. If you think that transfer is more valuable, which it could be, going into game week 10, there's quite a few things you can do with 2 free transfers, especially considering you've got 3 up front. I would actually probably roll it, play Anthony, and then next week you can downgrade Gyökeres to a 4.5 and upgrade one of your midfielders to a Bruno or a Saka or something like that. Thoughts about Gyökeres to Altamada to fund Kudus, Saka? Absolutely, Hero Cat. That's a great transfer. I would do that for sure. Yeah, my cricket tour starts 31st of October. I'm flying out to Cyprus to play a tri-series v Serbia and Bulgaria. So, yeah, hopefully that goes well. And I'm most likely to lose my number 1 T20 international batter in the world stats. But I haven't mentioned that for a while on stream, so I just wanted to plug one more time that I'm currently stats.espn cricket info. Number 1 T20 international batter in the world. Thank you. Paul, sorry, mate. You were planning to try and bring in Rodon and Saar? Or you were trying to take them out? You're trying to take them out. No, what were you saying? Cody, you got working on the proposal for my thesis due Monday. Good man. John, I'll add you to the list. 7415926. I've got a few to get through before you, mate. 8987437 MCAX. Quex, thank you for signing back up to membership again, mate. Top guy. Dubravka instead of Rye. I know it sounds ridiculous, but Palace might score. Yeah, I mean, I understand completely, Marvel. I understand. I think Palace could score as well, but I think I'd just back the stronger defense as usual. Surely I've heard about Oscar Piastri. I mean, I know Oscar Piastri. Did something happen? Something happened to him? Always will score Marvel. Teach me tips. Well, go on, teach me tips, my guy. Great to see you back, bro. Sorry, I think I actually did see you pop up earlier in the chat, and my brain just didn't clock. But hey, bro. Paul, not sure what to do. I'm playing Munoz. Do I bench Sar, Mateta, and play Rodon? I think you play Mateta. You don't even have Arsenal defence, so I think you play Mateta. Virgil, Senesi, Munoz, Rodon. Caicedo, Reinders, Salah, Semenyo. Mateta, Haaland. I think you play 4-4-2 like that. Bench. Rodon, Sar. No, wait, what? No, bench Guiu, Sar, Anderson. Bench Guiu, Sar, Anderson. I mean, I think like Guiu first on bench, Sar second, Anderson third. Look, I do think it's hard. Like, I think, yeah, I think it is hard, but that is like it makes the most sense to me to do that. I got to say, Mateta does look like he looks nice, mate. He looks, as a player, he looks nice. Even watching him in the warm up, he looks nice. His finishing is outrageous. Like in the small goals, he's just like pinging them top bins, bottom bins all the time. He looked really. SARS looked poor, but like I understand how the tactical matchup here is like way better for SAR than Mateta. But like Mateta's on pens, like his finishing's great, focal point. I think I'd just have him over SAR. Could backfire, but I think that's what I'd do. And you're nicely set going forwards, Paul, with that team as well. I think you're ahead of the curve a little bit in terms of the team. Like this week's maybe like a bit of a transition week for your team, but from next week your team's going to look sexy AF, mate. Injury news, teach me tips. Just look at the top left corner of this screen and everything will come through. Gabriel a doubt. Evan Nilsson still out. Gravenberch / Isak doubts. Matoma doubts. Foster's back for Burnley. Palmer's still out. Delap's not back till next week. Grealish is back for Everton. Anderson's out for Fulham. Perry might start for Darlow in goal for Leeds. All the Man City boys are around. Anyway, Quex, let me put your team up. Anyway, look at the screen. It'll tell you everything. If you've got questions on that, I spent a lot of time. In fact, most of the time today goes into the team news on the top left. Like, it takes me a couple of hours to go through all the press conferences and stuff. So, read it. Very helpful for me. No, Rads, a couple more than you. How long have we got here? We got about an hour and a half. Okay, let's focus on this next hour, getting through this list all the way to John. What are your plans for this team? You could do that, Marvel, but I prefer Tarkin, so are out. What are your plans for this team, Quex? This is you, mate. Come in. English Aussie to Kweku. Mark, wake up. Max, no, Sandri, you can't be. Sandri, are you Dutch? Are you Dutch? You have one possible safe from that comment. Are you Dutch? If you're Dutch, I'll accept. If you're not Dutch, like I can't be having this Max Verstappen support. Can't be having it. I've got one of the McLarens has got to win it this year. One of the McLarens has got to win it this year. Teach me tips. No, please. I went through as much as I could, mate. Please read it. Thinking of rolling Quex or getting João Pedro or Sar or Wilson out. Okay. Well, Wilson's a doubt for this week anyway. Diouf obviously didn't play last week for West Ham. Gabriel doubt as well. So I think I'd probably make a transfer just because there are some problems. So Harry Wilson is at what, 5.3? That's nasty. You must have really low team value. Yeah, 99 mil, because Otherwise, what do you do this week? You play Newcastle v Fulham. You probably possibly play Dubravka. Thing keep moving. Stay in the right position, Mike. Yeah, I think you probably played Dubravka. Gabriel, Guay, Timber, maybe even Rodon, Saka, Semenyo, Cullen, Saka, Semenyo, Cullen, Haaland, Waltemada, João Pedro. Yes, codes. You can jump in next. Thinking of rolling or getting João Pedro or Sarr or Wilson out. I just don't feel like you can afford to get rid of João Pedro or Sarr. I think you can afford to get rid of Wilson, but the fact that like Diouf, Wilson, and Gabriel are all doubts, like if you don't want to play the other 11, you're gonna need to move a Wilson or even a Diouf. I mean, Diouf is probably the one that I would consider. 4.4. Can you get someone nice at that price point? Achiampong might not start. I don't think Tosin is. What's Tosin? Is Tosin obtainable at that price? Don't know what he is. Let me check. Yeah, he's 4.4. Tosin might be nice. But then it's going to be another person that I've told to play 5 at the back, which is crazy. And then it would be 5 at the back. Saka, Semenyo, and Haaland, Waltemada, JP. God, I hate telling people to do that. But it's a new year. Yeah, I mean, if I were you, I'd either field the 11 you've got there, plus swap in Rodon for Sarr or Cullen, or I'd transfer Diouf for Tosin, and I'd play 5 at the back, Semenyo and Saka, and then 3 up front. But I just feel like 2 transfers for your team is going to be important next week. And I've got to be honest, next week is potentially a week where you want to start thinking about trying to get to a bench boost. You want to start thinking about getting to that. And that's going to mean Wilson's probably needs to leave your side. No, he might be back and available next week. Yeah, I think next week you might be looking at a bench boost, Quex. So maybe you need the 2 transfers next week. So maybe you just run with your team. You bench one of Sarr or Cullen, and then Wilson and Diouf as well. And then roll. And then you have 2 free transfers next week, which is going to be useful because I think you're probably going to want to bench boost game week 11 before the international break gives problems. People will get injured. Ardiv, what's up, man? I'm still waiting on you to DM me, bro. You won the discount code on one of our giveaways 2 weeks ago now. Thanks for joining back in the chat. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you winning one of my giveaways. I have a list, and I keep telling people when they join. I didn't know I didn't get a DM from you, mate. I didn't get a DM from you. On Insta or Twitter? For sure, I didn't. Because I've been thinking about it. Yeah. Have a check. Let me know. If you definitely did, give me your username or on Twitter. Nah, man, I've got nothing on Twitter. The queue is pretty long. What's your Twitter ID, bro? No giveaway today. Kick off, bro. I told you I got to run because I got my mates. I'm I'm going out drinking with my mates basically, and I've got to leave like ASAP at 6:30. Anyway, let's get through this queue. Sorry, I know there's tons of people waiting. So, Quex, glad that helped you. Cody just came in. He's a member. He needs to skip the queue. Codes. 1 free transfer this week. Gabriel Rodon Lacroix. Aldereti's out. Senesi's in. Saka, Semenyo, and Dai. One of Reinders and Kudus probably, or you could bench both. Gabriel Rodon. Maybe I'd bench Lacroix. It's hard to bench him against Arsenal. That's like a good game for Defcon and a possible clean sheet. You just kind of hope that Gabriel's out for a lot of people. Just be Marmadashvili, mate. Marmadashvili. Liverpool are a better team. Tips 1393004. For you to go cap. I'd bench Reinders and Kudus. Reinders, Kudus, Alderet. Cody, what do you think? 4-3-3. Saka, Semenyo, and Dai. And my bench order would be Reinders, Kudus, Alderet. I think, but Kudus could slide in front of Reinders if you feel that way. Please, reminder, if you guys have been enjoying so far, please like, subscribe to the channel down below. Turn it up, actually. It's a little bit low. Yeah, this should be better. I think that's a better level. Cat, man, I keep telling you to stop taking hits. You keep ignoring me. Cody, what do you think, mate? I know you're writing a thesis. That was what I was thinking, but possibly Lacroix instead. Any transfers you recommend? 0.8 mil in the bank. It would be Kudus to someone. Probably. Oh, shit. My chat just died. It'd be Kudus. Can you get to Gakpo? It'd be Kudus to Gakpo would be my transfer. That's what I'm doing this week. I haven't actually clicked the button on it. I should probably do that now. There's nothing that... I thought maybe I'd change my mind on stream. It's a reasonable hit. Salah, Isidore, and Tavernier to Saka and Bumo, Waltamado, and bench boost. Okay, mate. So you don't need my help then. You made the call, Capsy. You made the call. There's no benching dilemmas. There's no transfer dilemmas. You just want me to make you feel better about the -8. Great pick. Great pick. Great pick. I love you, Cat, mate. You always make me laugh. Help me. But I've already made my decisions and I've bench boosted, so I don't really need your help. But help me. To be fair, like I understand what you've done. I think like that could work out for you. So I don't have too much of an issue with it. I just don't like hits, mate. You know I don't like hits. Yeah, teach me tips. I've added you, mate. I've added you. I think it's justified. I think it's just. I don't think it's a luxury. I think it's justified. But like what I'd say, Cody, is I'd like to get in Munoz, and I think even for your team, I would say I just tell you what I'm doing my team because we're similar at the back. I'm actually going to go Lacroix to Munoz next week. All good. Teach me tips. No worries, bro. I'm actually going to go Lacroix to Munoz next week. And if you do go Kudus to Gakpo, it just means that you don't have any like way to. You don't have any way to like move. You just got 0 in the bank, which is always quite tricky if you want to make like a transfer and you can't do it. So that sort of 1 mil in the bank is normally quite helpful. is all I'd say, or the 2 transfers for next week to potentially make the move then. So maybe it is a little bit of a luxury this week. I'd like to be on TikTok, mate, but it's just too hard to do so many social medias. Like if I wasn't working full time, like flipping 9 to 6:30 every day, then I'd be on everything. But I just do content creating in my spare time, which is like an extra day of work at least a week. Probably means I'm working really like 7-day weeks. So otherwise, I'd be on TikTok. I think I do have a TikTok. I started one originally. I just didn't have the time to do it. Yeah, don't bench Munoz. Never bench Munoz. Munoz should not be on the bench for the rest of the year. He's going to get a 20-pointer at some time, or at least a 17-pointer. If he doesn't, someone come up with a forfeit for me. 100% sometime this year, Munoz gets a 15-point plus game for sure. 100%. I would say 17. Yeah. So I mean, that's sort of my thoughts, Cody. I mean, you can go to Gakpo. I mean, you can go to a Caicedo. You could even go to an Enzo. But yeah, I mean, my number one pick would be Gakpo. If you wanted to keep money in the bank, maybe you go Enzo. If you wanted to save money, you go Caicedo. But it just, like, I think you can. But then again, you then have to bench someone, which is then a problem. So I think maybe just roll. Maybe just roll, mate. Because then you just have the benching headache again. If he doesn't, you take everyone Sydney-based out for drinks. Done. No Munoz 15-pointer. Everyone in Sydney, I'll take them out. First round's on me. Cool. Thanks, Codes. Okay, Patrick, are you here? If not, Sandri. And then Radu. Then it's you, mate. And then Cap, FYI. So list at the moment. We did Marvel, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, did you? I know I did. List at the moment. Patrick, Sandri, Radu, Capsy, Edvix, JS, Edvin, Star, MCAX, John, Teach Me Tips, Ardiv. So that's actually quite a lot. So we're going to have to start moving now. Patrick, are you here? Or Sandri, are you here? If not, we'll just go to Radu. I think Sandri is here. Yeah. Igor, are you around? I know you are technically. I haven't done you yet, but I think you just left. She got bored of me talking to people. I understand. I'm boring. No, I'm great value. I just talk for too long sometimes. All right, Sandri. What are we saying? Oh, Alexandros Baliu. Alexandros. Greek? Where are you from? Albanian. Dope. I want to come out to Albania next year. If I do, now I'm going to hit you up. I have asked you before. I must have said this before. We must have had this exact discussion. Because I remember your name from the chat. And I probably remember, I probably said, you probably went Alexandros and I went Greek. And you went Albanian. Because now I remember. Oh, dear. Mate. Anyway. Sorry. Just, today is full brain fade for me because I'm just like mad hectic about thinking I need to leave at 6:30 and I've just been rushing all day to get everything ready for you guys. Anyway, let me talk about your team and I'll stop yapping. So you have 2 free transfers and your team already looks like pretty damn nice. Mukiele, Gabriel. So Mukiele will play centre-back this week because Alderet's out. So it'll be him and Ballard at the middle. I think a nice... Hey, Selena! What's up? Wildcard next week's looking forward already to the who to buy video. Yeah, it's gonna be it will be done. I'll be in Cyprus at the time, so it'll be a bit difficult. There might just be one video out next week. But feel free to ping me, Selena, if you need more questions. Maybe I'll put that one out early. This week, do I take out Stash or Rangers with 1 free transfer that I have for 1 week pump for wildcard? If so, to who? Stash, I have 6.5 to buy. Rangers, I have 7 mil. It would be, for me, Ndai, Enzo, Caicedo. One of the 3. Because you don't have enough for Gakpo. Sorry, Alexandros. Oh, man, I love that name. Alexandros. Right, Mukiele, Gabriel, Senesi, Gvardiol, Richards. Oh, damn. You got a back line that's amazing as well. Caicedo, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo. All 3 of them have to play. Paqueta, bench. Easy. Haaland, João Pedro, Gyökeres. I mean, hard to not play any of them this week. Could bench Reinders. Richards will play. Probably get Defcon 2. Mukiele has a chance of a clean sheet as well. Gabriel. Edvic's couple more, mate. It's Radu, Cap, then you. At this moment. Unless anyone rejoins to the left. I should be like, if you rejoin, like, put you at the bottom of the queue. Nah, I'm not going to do that. That's deep. If you're here early and you get in, you deserve to be in the queue. God, this mic is just moving like it's having a field day today. Yeah, I think Reinders bench, Paqueta bench, one of the defenders bench, and the defender. It'd just be nice if we could just know Gabriel was out. It'd just be easy. Then you just pick the other 4. It's probably Gvardiol. I don't like that either. I don't like saying Gvardiol. Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Against Villa, who are just so trash. My plan is to roll Reinders, Richards, Mukiele, bench. You got 2 frees, though. You got 2 frees. What are your future plans? Richards to Munoz. Paqueta's got to go, mate. Paqueta's got to go for 1. That's like absolute guarantee. Paqueta's got to go. If you roll, okay, I see it. I see what would be good. I would be going João Pedro or Gyökeres to a 4.5 next week. Paqueta to someone good like a Enzo or Gakpo, or even a Saka, and then Richards to Munoz. That's your transfers next week, or a Gvardiol to Munoz. No, but Man City have good fixtures coming up, so I mean, I don't love Gvardiol, to be honest. Maybe it'd be Gvardiol to Munoz, to be honest, for me. You've just bought Paqueta? Well, I'd sell him. Don't know what you want me to say. No, I mean, look, everyone has their own views on stuff, and that's totally fine, and you pick the teams that you want. Like, I got to give you my advice. It's honest advice. Like, I don't really like Paqueta. I think he's just on penalties is nice. I don't like West Ham. I just don't think they're going to score a lot of goals. And I think if they do score goals, it's most likely going to be Jarrod Bowen. And I would have advised against bringing in Paqueta anyway. So, look, I think if you're going to bench 2 defenders, I'd probably play Mukiele over Senesi. And yeah, that's fine. The rest is okay. I can live with that. Yeah, I just play Mukiele over Senesi. If that's what you want to do, I mean, that's what I would say. Otherwise, my advice would be Paqueta and Reinders on the bench with +1 defender. Which, if it was me picking, well, yeah, maybe would be Richards. But he would be, yeah, maybe would be Richards. But yeah, for what you like, I think the way that you're feeling, I think I'd just play Mukiele over Senesi. I think Sunderland have a chance of a clean sheet. Plus, He's going to get DEFCON playing centre-back. Bench boost with VDV, Dubravka, Rodon, and Xhaka. Boss Arhill. Yeah, that's nice. Bench boost. Sheriff El Hakim. Again, I need your advice. Who to bench between Eze, Virgil, Bowen, or Munoz? Eze? Jan, sorry, man. I remember you wrote earlier. Would you get Timber for Bijo or Murillo to bench boost this week? Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think Bijo will play this week, but it's too risky, so I'd get him for Bijo. Otherwise, I wouldn't, and I'd go for Murillo because it's a nicer pick. Like Leeds game, I think Leeds will do well, or Leeds could do well against West Ham. So, if you want to play risky, you go for Murillo. If you want to just be safe on the bench boost, which is probably what I think you would do, I think you go for Bijo. Play Minte or Sarr. Minte for me, Bernie. You reckon Gabriel is going to start? I think no, but no idea. But I think no, because I think if there is slight issues, I think he just rests. There's so many games coming up thick and fast. Which defence do you like more in a wild card? Pope, Gabriel, Timber, Senesi, Munoz, Mukiele, swapping Munoz and No, don't swap Munoz. I'm never going to say that. Chandri, hopefully that helps, mate. Radu, I'm going to pull you up now. Let's start mute. That feels like I put the wrong team ID in. Rads, can you just flick me your team ID again? Because I think I typed it in wrong when I was typing it in. Oh no, I got it. Gordon or Gakpo, start Paqueta or Rodon. Gakpo, start Rodon. Cheetos. Igor, Patrick, either of you here? Just FYI. Sell Porro. No, I think I remember your team, Rads, but oh yeah, sorry, you're up, aren't you? So Goodmanson, Senesi, Gabriel, Munoz, back four. Porro bench. No freeze. Have you made any transfers? No, you haven't made any transfers. Kudus, Semenyo, and Dai Gordon. Eze. Ooh, nice. Oh, Bowen as well. Oh, can you bench boost? Oh, you can bench boost. Oh. Ooh. Oh, the bench boost is nice, man. The bench boost is nice. My mate's already getting on the piss. Yeah, it's just that Gabriel one, really. I'd almost be like, take the gamble. Oh, I just don't think he's going to play. But Tottenham defence. Yeah, but Everton offence. I could say the same thing. Yeah, I mean, you could bench boost next week as well, I guess. Who Spurs got next week? Chelsea. I mean, that's a bit more tricky next week, though. I think I'd just play it. You got Spurs, Chelsea next week. You're not going to want to bench boost. You're not going to want to bench boost Porro, Kudus, Vicario, and João Pedro against each other. Hey, Gav. I'm well, mate. Thank you. You're on Wildcard. Yeah, you can send it to me. I was going to be a bit tight for time, but send it to me on Insta or Twitter. Bowen looks good against Leeds. Yeah. I'd probably transfer Gabriel for Timber and bench boost. I hate that, but I would do it probably. Oh, that's probably what I'd do. I kind of hate that though. But yeah, I think Did you start a game week late? You did, didn't you? Oh, 2 game weeks late. Yeah, it'd probably be Gabriel to Timber and bench boost. Or like Gabriel to like Shalaba. Yeah, I just don't really like the bench. No, I mean maybe with your team you can. No, don't do it. Don't. You might be one of the very few cases where maybe you can bench boost around like 16, 17, 18. I wouldn't want to get rid of Gabriel. I don't think he's going to play though. I really don't. I think he's not going to start. It's just my hunch. It's my hunch. There's no reasoning behind that hunch, other than Arsenal have a lot of matches in quick succession, and if he's a little bit unfit, they've got like Mosquera to cover. Crazy news selling him for 1 game week. Yeah, I think I agree. I think you'll just have to bench boost either like 16, 17, 18. So, okay, so what do you do? Great question. I think you roll the transfer. I think you go Goodmanson, Senesi, Gabriel, Munoz, Gordon, Semenyo, and Dai, João Pedro, Haaland, Bowen, Kudus on the bench, Eze on the bench, and who's the other one? And Pedro Porro on the bench. Goodmanson versus Bowen. I mean, play both for sure. I think it'd be Kudus, Eze, and yeah, maybe not Goodmanson. Yeah, okay, fine. I mean, yeah, Kudus, Eze, and Pedro Porro. But I think you can maybe you could go Eze for Goodmanson, and be Goodmanson, Kudus, Pedro Porro as your bench. And I'd probably Vicario versus Dubravka. Yeah, I might go Dubravka. I'd probably go Dubravka. No, I played Minte over Dewsbury Hall. Yashnav 808. That's what I'd go, Radu. Hopefully that helps, mate. Capsy, you here, mate? You must be here. You're never not here. Capsy, Edvix, JS Edvin. I think Edvix is around. Nah, no point selling, mate. You can have 2 free transfers next week instead. You're going to bench Kudus anyway, so there's no point selling if you're going to bench him. Just next week, you can have 2 free transfers. You've got a little bit more information. It's worth waiting the week, like rather than selling Kudus now and then just having a benching dilemma. Captaining Semenyo, Yashnav 808. Look, I'd just captain Haaland. He's been in such ridiculous form this year. Like, absolutely insane. But if you're trying to go against the grain, then Semenyo is a good captaincy choice, yeah. No worries, Rads. Hope that helps. Cap, where are you? Edvix, JS, Edvin. Any of you guys in the chat at the moment? If you are up. Where are you, Cap? The world put a what is it? APB out on Cap. Where are you? I might start coming into my streams with different caps. I'm gonna have to get a cap with a C on it. I think I should get one. I think I should get one. Just for him. Alright. If none of you are in, Star, MCAC, John, Teach Me Tips, Ardiv. You're the next 5. Those are the 9 left to get through. Which I'm going to have to get through in the next 40 minutes. So you got like 5 minutes each per person. Cool, Edwin, you were closer than TMT. So we'll just bring you up. Bench boost last week. Nice week. Excellent. That's good. Nice green arrow. Ryle, Aqua, Calafuri, Diouf, Virgil. Oh, yeah. Another nice team. Man, like the bench boost is almost like looking good every week at the moment. It's just such strong teams. 2 free transfers. John's here as well. Lovely. Yeah, I mean, 2 free transfers. Like for me, it's just João Pedro out to a 4.5, 4.3. Upgrade one of your midfielders, probably Kudus. Probably Kudus or Anderson, one of the 2. Like I couldn't make the call for myself this week. I ended up going Kudus to Gakpo, João Pedro to Guiu. So I mean, I'd have to advise that, because that is like the exact move that I made with 2 frees. And then it would be Lacroix, Calafiori, Virgil, Rodon, bench Diouf, and then it would be Saka, Gordon, Enzo, Gakpo, and Waltemada and Haaland, and that's a really nice 4-4-2 team. I feel quite good about that advice for you, because everything lands quite nicely. And then on the bench, you've just got Guiu, Anderson, Diouf, in that order, probably. Maybe Anderson, Guiu, Diouf. Probably Anderson, Guiu, Diouf. I could go Guiu and Kudus to Fernandes. Yeah, if you prefer Fernandes, that's great. Like I was debating between Gakpo and Fernandes, and I like early in the week I was on Fernandes, and later in the week I went to Gakpo. But I was pretty 50-50 between the two of them. I'm not sure I've made the right call. I think Fernandes could be better. I kind of went Gakpo because I just felt like so many people had Fernandes, and I wanted to have someone that like it's fun to support, and like if they go nuclear, you're like, yeah, I smoked everyone. But then it's going to annoy me if Fernandes does that and then everyone smokes me. So yeah, I mean, I think Fernandes is good as well, but I think those are nice. Or just bench VVD, Diouf, Anderson, Lacroix. VVD, Diouf, Anderson, Lacroix. You could, but I actually think that's the way to go in the future. Is just getting rid of João Pedro. I mean, if you don't want to get rid of João Pedro, fine. But well, yeah. I mean, you can go for Obi or you can go for Krupi Junior. But yeah, I'm. Let me be honest with you. I'll show you my team. This is what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to make the transfers now because I already know this is what I'm going to do. So I'll make them while you're watching. Reset. This is my team. He's going to come out. Kudus is going to come out. João Pedro is going to come out. Gakpo is going to come in. And Guiu's going to come in. And I'm hoping he doesn't drop tomorrow in price. And he's going to rise in price. Gabriel is a doubt, yeah. And that's it. I'm going to make those transfers because I'm happy. And then if I pick the team, like, it probably lands like that. That's probably how my team lands. Like, I just like having a better midfielder than Kudus in there. Just don't feel great about him. I'm hopeful about Gakpo. I don't think like my Liverpool fan. If anything, being a Liverpool fan, I would say I tend to pick less Liverpool players because I'm very cynical. Yeah, it was between Gakpo and Fernandes for me. I mean, honestly, as a Liverpool fan, I tell you our best player is Ekitike. If you were to be picking a striker right now, I'd be picking Ekitike. But I think Liverpool's run of fixtures is so good from now onwards, and I want to have one of their players, and Gakpo looks like the one that's going to be playing all the time and scoring. So, for me, I think he's a really good pick. I think he's in the top 7 midfielders, and I think of those top 7 midfielders, I've got 4 of them in my team, and I'd like to have Caicedo over Anderson, and then I would have 5 of them, and then the other 2 I think are Bruno Fernandes and Ndiaye. I was close with Ndiaye as well. Is Isak injury long term now? He might even be fit this week, to be honest. Stefan Kosovic, start 2, Reinders, Rogers, Sarr. Reinders and Sarr. I would bench Kudus this week, play Diouf. I think he starts. Edwin, you've obviously got to go with what you believe, mate. So, like, I'll give you my advice, but I honestly support you going for what you want to go for, because I think that's how you've got to play FPL. Otherwise, what's the point of playing if you're just going to listen to somebody else tell you what to do? So yeah, I mean, like that's my advice. That's what I'd do. I think Guiu, Fernandes, Guiu, Gakpo, Gu and Die all good, or yeah, if you want to go the way you're thinking and roll, like there are going to be more options for you next week as well. Like I think Munoz has got to come in. Like that's going to be my number one transfer next week. Munoz for everybody. No worries, mate. Frank Golding, best defender, 4.1 mil or under for the bench boost this week to replace Anderson. Already have Rodon. 4.1 be Mukiele. I think he's 4.1 be Mukiele. Because he's going to play CB as well with Ballard because Alderette is out. So even more reason for him to get DEFCON. Okay, Cap C, Edvix, JS, Star, MCAC, John, TMT, Ardiv. Any of you guys? Cody, how do you feel about Enzo until week 13 and then Gakpo? I mean, I've got both, so I don't mind either. I think Enzo's a great pick as well. Enzo's, again, like one of my top 7 picks. John, what's up, bro? It's crazy the Cap's gone missing when it was his turn. Yeah, Ardiv, you can just go next. John, what are your thoughts then? Thinking of Anderson to Fulham defender or Kukurea Salah to Saka. You got 3 free transfers. Dewsbury to Gakpo and Bumo or GK change. Should I do a bench boost your best 3 free transfers and take hits to change more or roll? Yeah, all right, man. 3 free transfers, 1.2 mil in the world. Bench boost in hand. I think it is probably time to get that bench boost played. Let's work out how you can do it. Guay, Timber, Stev, Goodmanson, they got to stay. Anderson obviously moves. 0.4 in the bank. Enzo and Guy are going to play. Gyökeres Haaland going to play. Sars play. Dewsbury Hall needs to move. Salah, Semenyo good. And then we just move Salah. So Salah out. Anderson out. Dewsbury Hall out. In would be. Do you have an Arsenal spot? You have an Arsenal spot. You don't want to have. Maybe you don't want to have 2 Arsenal attackers against Palace on the bench boost. In would probably be Bruno, Gakpo, and I would love to say Munoz, but you'll have to bring him in next week because he's got Arsenal. So on the bench boost, I would be looking at. Oh, maybe a Senesi? No, it's not a great fixture this week. Who's best pick defender this week, do you guys think? Like, best pick defender, like long term, but also this week. Like, maybe Chalobah? Leave Gu. I think Gu starts this week, mate. I'd be pretty confident he starts. Yeah, I think Newcastle, I'd go Malik Thior. CB. If I was going Newcastle, I'd go Malik Thior for sure. His DEFCON's probably up there with Botman, but I think once Livramento comes back into that left back role or Lewis Hall becomes fit either, I'm not sure if Burn goes back into CB, and I think if he does, he goes back in for Botman. But like because Thior and Botman have both been playing there, do you just feel? I feel like Burn just drops out because they've got used to playing in a tandem. But then, yeah, I don't know. Then Burn and Botman also have played in a tandem in the past. Do they go to a back 5? I think that's the thing with Newcastle. I'm not the hugest fan. Any Everton yeah, like Everton. The thing is, their fixtures for me, like longer term. So although you're bench boosting, like you're making these changes with an eye on the longer term as well. I think Everton fixtures are like, I mean, they're okay to be fair. They're okay. Tottenham, Sunderland, Fulham, Man United, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest. I mean, you could go Tarko, but then again, Brantford's not coming back for a long time. Yeah, Virgil's nice. Virgil's a nice pick. Unk! What's up, Unk? How are you? Thanks for joining chat. Chuck your team ID in, mate, if you need help. I'll pull you up straight away. That will do. Really? Oh, thanks, John. Was that helpful? Like, are you comfortable? Like, I don't want to like push past you if you're still thinking on stuff. But yeah, that's what I do and play bench boost. So maybe Virgil, Bruno, Gakpo, slash and die. Like 2 of the 3 of them. Yeah. Okay, and then bench boost. Nice. MCAX, no, I haven't, but you are like literally right there in the list, so I can just come to you. Actually, I've just got to do Ardiv because he's been like here the whole time as well and waiting around. I think it's fair. But if you have a moment, MCAC, I'll come to you next. Ardiv 2 frees, mate. Ooh, okay. Gabriel Munoz. Ooh, yikes. Bench Lacroix. Bench Trufair. Bench Dewsbury Hall. Done. Sanchez in goal. Gabriel Munoz Senesi. Semenyo Sarr Reinders. Enzo. Gyökeres Harling João Pedro. Lacroix first on bench. Trufair second on bench. Dewsbury Hall third on bench. No, Dewsbury Hall Trufair could be 2 or 3. Wow, yours is the easiest one so far. But you have 2 free transfers, so let's have a think. Longer term, like your defense is solid, mate. I don't think. I mean, if anything, I'd be downgrading Trufair to like a 4 mil because I think your defense is so strong. 3 I don't know how you have this much money. Like it's crazy. I'd be considering like Reinders or Sarr. No, you don't want to move Sarr. I mean, I'd really consider like Reinders up to a Gakpo, a Bruno. If you can get there, I think you might be a little bit short on Bruno. No, I think you can get. Oh, you might be 1.1 short on Bruno. But I'd consider. I'd genuinely consider, and I'd even consider Trufair down to like Mukiele, or down. No, maybe not down. He's a bit more expensive. Like Trufair down to Mukiele, Reinders up to a Bruno or a Gakpo or any of the above. You can get Bruno. If you want to bench boost, do Gabriel to Timber. Yeah, I don't think it's the week for you, the bench boost. I think you've bench boost next week. I think next week you'll have quite a nice bench boost side. You just have to be dealing with João Pedro. So I wonder if you're bench boosting next week, we don't make the transfer this week. You'll have 3 frees next week. I think you can do that. I don't think your team desperately needs a Bruno or a Gakpo this week. I think next week you use 3 transfers, Ardiv, and bench boost. So I think we save your transfer this week for the fact that it's going to be important next week to have a full 15, and you want to make it as strong as possible. So I think you roll. Just because of Gabriel, I wouldn't want to bench boost this week. I'm not a big fan of having the Dewsbury Hall on the bench boost. Not really the biggest fan of Trufair either. I think I'd probably be going Dewsbury Hall, Trufair, and maybe Reinders out next week, and like maybe like a Ndai, Gakpo / Bruno, and then a downgrade Trufair to whoever's best 4 mil with a good defense next week. 3 frees to Mateta, Bruno, and Timber. Yeah, mate, like we'll have a think about it next week, Ardiv. But I think roll for a roll to bench boost in 11. Unk, Edvix, you're basically up next, mate. We've just been waiting for you to come back, so I'm gonna do Unk because members first, and then I've done John. I've done Ardiv. Done Sandri and Radu. Yeah, there's a couple of you that are around now that are just gonna kind of come up right now. It's MCAX, Edvix, and anyway, Unk. you wanted just bench order. Timber, Burn, Mukiele, Senesi, Rodon. Holy shit. Semenyo, Sarr, Saka, Reinders, Enzo. Holy shit. Haaland, Waldemar, Bowen. Holy shit. Don't ban me for swearing, YouTube. Thanks. Unk. Holy. Newcastle. Yeah. Timber's got to play. Michele probably needs to be benched. Senesi probably needs to be benched. Burn probably needs to play. Rodon. Rob Leeds keeping a clean sheet. Oh, he's going to say yes. Leeds at home to West Ham. No, you're going to play Bowen, so you got to bench Rodon. You got to choose between Bowen and Rodon. You're obviously going to choose Bowen, so you just bench Rodon. Midfield, you bench Sarr. I think Rodon, Sarr. I don't think you can bench anyone else in that forward line. So it would be one of Burn, Mukiele, Senesi. Bournemouth again? Bournemouth have got Forest. Oh yeah, you got to play Senesi. Is it? Yeah. It's probably going to have to be Mukiele for me. I think Sarr first on bench, Rodon second on bench, and Mukiele third on bench. Unk. Hopefully that helps. Start Munoz and Tarkovsky, Adam Jockers, Munoz. I mean, I'd like to start both, but Gav. Just make sure, Uncle Lou, just make sure that you you've heard my stuff, and just let me know in the chat if you come back and listen to it that you're comfortable with what I've said. Just want to make sure the members are good. MCAX, Teach Me Tips, Edvix, Cap, JS, Star, Gav. I am suggesting starting Raya, not Dubravka. And I am suggesting starting Reinders over Sarr. Yes. Still streaming insane. I'm always streaming Josiah, mate. I normally do 4-hour streams today. I cut it down to 3 because I just thought 4 was too crazy. Plus, I just wasn't ready for 4 hours. I hadn't got all the team news in time. Like the press conference isn't finished. Yeah. So Unk, to confirm, bench was okay. You got it. Nice. Well, to confirm anyway, it was Sarr, Rodon, Mukiele were the 3 on the bench, and bench Dubravka. I'd play Raya still. No problem, mate. What's going on, Josiah? What are you doing? So what were you doing today? You were doing something, weren't you? So you said you were doing something earlier while the streams were on. Anyway, guys in the stream. Cap, Edvix, JS, Star, Mkaki, TMT, Gav. Yeah, you're here, Edvix. Okay, let's go. Any of the rest of you that are here, just drop a comment in the stream. Teach Me Tips. All right, I'll pull you up next. Yeah, Abdullah's a hero, man. Abdullah's one of the best, mate. Very active in all our chats, like WhatsApp chats here. Gives really interesting advice. Like, has a different opinion on stuff. Like, I we don't agree on things. Like, I'm sure quite frequently, me and Abdullah. But like, it's nice to have that sort of view. Like, it's not good to have people constantly agreeing with what you say, in my opinion. Yeah, Arsenal FC, not Arteta. Team ID in chat, please. Edvin, start Petrovic. Ooh, Trippier. Michele Senesi, Trippier. Bench Ekdal. Bench Ekdal, Anderson. Saka, Rogers, and Bumo, Foden, Fernandez. Probably all need to play. Rogers is the only one there, but against Man City, like that's probably a good game for him. It's probably a good game for him on the counter. Yeah, Watkins. Yeah, I'd probably start Guiu over Watkins. Yeah, I'd bench Watkins, Ekdal, Anderson, mate. Or if you want to spend your free next week, I'd move Watkins to Mateta probably. That's what I'd do, Edwix. Watkins out, Pedro captain. Wait, who? What? Pedro in starting Gui instead of Rogers. Oh, so you've gone Watkins to João Pedro? Oh, damn, man. Should have waited for me to tell you to not do that and bring in Mateta next week. Okay, well. Yeah, I think Rogers might have a shout against Man City. He was quite good against them last year in transition as well, but I don't mind Guiu starting over Rogers. I mean, that was probably the spot that was a bit tricky. Yeah, I wouldn't have brought in João Pedro, but I mean, nice fixtures. So maybe he goes on a little bit of a run. He's probably going to come back into the 10 where he plays a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, each to their own. I mean, you've got to go for what you believe in, man. But yeah, if you're gonna do it, I don't mind Guiu for Rogers for sure. If you're gonna play João Pedro over Watkins, if you haven't made the transfer, I would have just gone Watkins to Mateta next week. Play Guiu, bench Watkins. I mean, why am I giving you advice? You're 12k in the world. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You're one of the few people beating my girlfriend. She's 30k at the moment. Yeah, hopefully that's good, mate. Teach me tips. You're up. You captain Haaland, and I know Abdullah's going to tell you 100% to captain Haaland. Yeah, I just think Watkins might not even start. I just feel like Mallon might start for for Villa, but Simon 101% Haaland. There you go. Yeah, she should, mate. She should. She's not in the same country as me at the moment, so maybe when I get back to Oz, I'll get her on stream. She doesn't want to show her face. I've told her before. I said, but I mean, right now we have exactly the same team, so don't believe the hype, mate. I should be 30k. She should be 900k. So you've done 5 free transfers already. Why are you asking for my advice, bro? You already know what you're doing. What's going on? Copycat. Yeah, I've copied her because she's gunning it. That's right. Paul's right. That is what happened. That's what happened. It's definitely not the other way around. Benching. What's your 5 frees? TMT, Seaman. Oh, are you sending it to me? Yeah, I got it on my phone. So for the sake of the chat, Van der Ven to Timber, Gabriel for Anderson, Mateta for Guiu, Enzo for Salah, and is that it? And Raya for Petrovic. Not impressed. Get the missus on stream. No, because then she might call me out on copying her team. I'll get her at some point to talk from like over here in the stream. She'll shout what other transfers should be for people once they get back to us. Yeah, Mike Flowers overtook you. He came in. He became a member last week. He came in and took the top spot off you, Abdullah. But I'm in 3, no. I'm catching you this week, mate. I reckon I've got you in my sights. Got you in my sights. I mean, I hope I don't. I hope we both have great weeks, but maybe me just a little bit greater. Yeah. So benchings for this, teach me tips. I think I'd play Gabriel over Rodon. And I agree with the rest of your benchings. Yeah, I think I agree with the rest. Dubravka in goal just to hedge the bets. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I think I would just play Gabriel over Rodon, and then you might even end up with the same team anyway when Gabriel doesn't play. So that's the only change I'd make, mate. But otherwise, I think, yeah, nailed it. No problem, mate. Okay. Let me just do a little roundup of where I'm at and who I've got still to get through. All right. So, if any of the following are in the chat, I've still got to do your team. Yeah, Arteta. Yeah, maybe you might be you as well. Igor, Patrick, Capsy, JS, Star, MCAX, Gav, Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. Actually, MCAX told me he was driving, so I'm just going to do his team. Because I think if he's driving, I think I'll just do it, and then maybe he'll hear it. So MCAX, if you're listening to me and driving, stay safe, mate. Graham, you posted earlier. Graham, you posted your team ID. Wait, what's going on? Gray, are you here? I didn't. Your team ID hasn't come up, Graham. But please chuck it in there. Oh yeah. Graham, can you chuck your team ID in? Sorry, bro. Like your it didn't come up. If you did, my sincerest apologies. MCAX, I'll just do your team in the meantime. You've got 3 free transfers. I'm just going to assume that you haven't used any unless you have. Then you can tell me off later. Vicario in goal. Calafiori, Senesi, Lacroix, Rodon, Goodmanson, double Leeds. Rob would be absolutely licking his lips at this double Leeds defence. Sar, Salah, Caicedo, Semenyo, João Pedro, Haaland, and Enzo Krupi. Okay. So, I mean, you have done the 3 free transfers. Are you able to tell me? Like, pull the car over and tell me? Don't crash, whatever you do. I'll give my advice anyway, and then maybe we'll get some. I'm assuming you probably brought Salah out. You probably, like, if you were a wise man, you would have transferred out Salah. You'd have upgraded one of those Leeds defenders. And yeah, I don't know what the other transfer is. Something else. Whatever tickles your pickle. That sounded really bad, didn't it? Yeah. I'll scrap that, put that in the key, lock it up. Will Tamada for Creepy. Look at that, all 3. Oh, I got 2 out of the 3. I didn't say the other one. Creepy actually probably I would have picked in the starting 11 this week. He's going to play over everyone else. Okay, so Gabriel for Goodmanson. So Gabriel starts. I think you start Dubravka over Vicario. Gabriel, Calafiori, Senesi, Lacroix, Rodon. Wow, that's strong. Bruno, Caicedo, Semenyo, Enzo, also very strong. I think you got a... Oh, you can bench boost. Oh, Gabriel. Mate, if you didn't have Gabriel, I'd tell you to bench boost. I think you got to try and bench boost next week, mate. I think you got to try and bench boost in 11. It's not really ideal because you got Vicario. Vicario's a bit of a nightmare for your bench boost because they'll be up against Chelsea and you'll have triple Chelsea. You might just have to live with it, or you just move Vicario next week for like Pope. I mean, it's a rogue goalkeeper transfer, but might be worth it. You could take the punt and assume Gabriel's going to play and bench boost. Or I think my bench would be Vicario, Lacroix, yeah, then maybe bench boost next week, sell Vicario for Pope or something. So my bench would be Vicario, Lacroix, Sarr, maybe Rodon, and then one of Rodon or, unpopular opinion, João Pedro. That's probably where I'd go. Gabriel was a doubt, so Arteta basically said, came off midweek. If Gabriel wasn't a doubt, mate, I'd play a bench boost. But I just wouldn't want to risk it. I mean, you can still risk it. But basically, Gabriel midweek in the Champions League had picked up a knock. Arteta said unsure, like he might be available, he might not. He hadn't trained as of Friday. Yeah, I know. If you'd have waited, I'd have probably said transfer Vicario and play the bench boost. I definitely would have said that this week, but I just wouldn't risk it now. I think I'd try and bench boost next week, but it's going to be you're going to have the same. Don't make an early transfer. I think next week. Yeah. So I think that's what I'd do. It would be Lacroix, Sarr, and João Pedro on the bench. But if you don't want to bench João Pedro, maybe Rodon. So first on the bench, Rodon or João Pedro, whichever one you want to bench. Then Lacroix, then Sarr. Yeah, I think that way around. Yeah. No, maybe then Sarr, then Lacroix. Transferred early to avoid price rise. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's probably worth it long term. It'll be worth it long term for you, I'm sure. Okay. What do I think about Arteta? I think he's annoying when it comes to press conferences, mate. He never gives me the details that I need to know. 467 2286. How long have I got here? How long have we got? 35 minutes to the deadline, and I've got a few people to get through, so let's get through you. Graham 1831273. Okay, Graham. Sorry for the delay, mate. I didn't see your post earlier with the team ID, so apologies. So you got 2 free transfers this week. All right, we need to get you back on track, mate. Gu's going to start. Oh, man, I wish we'd said play bench boost last week. Oh, I mean, 25 points. 2 frees. Okay, I know what to do. Bench boosting this week, mate. We're bench boosting this week. Achi and Pong out. And what's the second free? Actually, okay. What were we saying? Who do we think best defender is this week, but also long? I think maybe Timber is good this week. Yeah, so I think Achi and Pong for Timber. And then that defence looks pretty nice. I mean, Van der Ven almost is like annoying. But we can deal with Van der Ven in the future. Double Liverpool's crazy. Can you get Achi and Pong up to Timber? 4.4, 5.4. What is Timber's too much for that, isn't he? He's 6 mil. So then you need 0.6 mil from somewhere else. Fuck. That's annoying. Van der Ven down to Mukiele. Oh, that's it. Do that. Van der Ven to Mukiele. Oh, you got Ballard as well, though. Double Sunderland. Ooh. Do we go... I need Rob here to convince me that Rodon's a good pick. I think Ballard's cheekily a great pick. It's weird that I was saying that last week, and then I just didn't like Achiampong last week in your team. Otherwise, if I hadn't known he was starting, I would have bench boosted for you. Double Sunderland masterclass for Chelsea. You just got, but you can't do that because you got João Pedro and Guiu. Rob's having a nap here. I'd like to go to Timber, but then maybe if you can't go to Timber, we just have to go for a different defender. But I want someone that's going to be good for you long term, Graham. And then what's the other transfer? Van der Ven as well, probably. I just want Munoz. I just want Munoz, but it's just such a shit week for him against Arsenal. Probably Trevor Chalobah. Do you reckon Achiampong plays this week? I think Tosin plays. Reece James, yeah, but like for me, like I'd like someone that also gets DEFCON. He's on my watch list, Reece James. He is, because he's on set pieces, corners, free kicks, etc. He's not a bad pick, I've got to be honest. He's just never going to get DEFCON, but I mean, is that an issue? Maybe not. Maybe not. You don't get many defenders on corner. Maybe Reece James is the pick, Abdullah. Maybe Reece James is the pick. Graham, I don't want to take risky decisions with your team, mate. Can you give me some thoughts on what you're thinking? Because I think a bench boost is nice for this team. Because I think Ballard is okay. He'll probably get DEFCON. I think Guiu's going to start. I don't really like João Pedro. I'd probably get rid of him. And then he'll probably score 3. Shit. It's not a great week, though, for a bench. Maybe you can bench boost next week. Okay, we're not bench boosting. Sack all I'm thinking. I think there's too many players playing against each other this week. And you got to hold on to Salah for one more week, then. Which you don't really want to do either. Who have Liverpool's got next week again? Palace. No. Villa. Villa's alright. Villa's an alright game for us. What about a cheaper mid? Well, we just come out of Salah altogether. Oh, or you're saying Achiampong to Timber and a cheaper mid? It's just nice to have Salah on a bench boost, though, isn't it? Give Reindeers out. Yeah, Reindeers is a pain in the butt, isn't he? Yeah, I'd like your team to go Reinders to Caicedo. I think that's the perfect transfer for him. But you got 3 Chelsea. First time I've seen a Salah Haaland team that looks good. Yeah, I know, me too. I actually think Graham's been probably one of the unluckiest teams all year. I felt like all year his team's been quite nice. He's just like... Just look at last week. Like we were thinking about bench boosting, and then like we just didn't think Achiampong was going to play. And if we had bench boosted, we got 27 points. Yeah, Tosin's a good replacement for Anderson, Cameron. Senesi, who plays at the back this week? Senesi, Richards, Ballard, bench Van der Ven, Salah, Gakpo, Anderson, Reinders. I'd like to get rid of João Pedro, but I mean, I just feel like you've got him, like you like him. I just almost don't want to do it. But I think if I was to get rid of him, I'd probably go to Walter-Marda. I think that's where I'd go. Or you just roll. Can you get away with rolling this week and having 3 next week and then bench boosting? You like the roll or the Walter-Marda? I mean, to be honest, if you went Walter-Marda, you could probably go Timber. I think if you went Waltamada, you go Achi and Pong to Timber. Yes. Graham, I talk too fast. I give too many options. Which one do you like? No, I'm assuming you're saying Waltamada. I think you can go. Yeah, I think you can go JP to Waltamada, Achi and Pong to Timber. I mean, you don't even need to go Achi and Pong to Timber. No, it would be quite nice. I also want to give you some options to get out of Munoz. Maybe you just go João Pedro to Waltamada. Do you help out with tips? Nikolai Kanewa? Yeah, sure, mate. No worries. Bench 3, Mark Guiu, Kudus, Richards, Goodmanson, Dewsbury Hall, Senesi. Dewsbury Hall, Kudus, Guiu. Nikolai. Play Richards, Goodmanson, Senesi. I think maybe you go João Pedro to Waltamada. You play Guiu. You play 3-4-3. No, that's not going to work. You have to bench Guiu. You play 3-5-2. Salah, Gakpo, Anderson, Reinders, Semenyo. 3 at the back, Senesi, Richards, and Dan Ballard. Senesi, Richards, Ballard. Dubravka in goal. You just move João Pedro to Waltamada. And your bench is Guiu, Van de Ven, Achi and Pong. Or really, actually, start Achi and Pong. Start Achi and Pong over Ballard. And if he doesn't start, then you get Ballard in first on your bench. Maybe we should have said that last week. Because that's a good fixture for Chelsea clean sheet against Sunderland. So, Senesi, Richards, Achi and Pong. Your 5 mids. Haaland and Waltamada, who comes in for João Pedro. And then on the bench, you got Ballard, Guiu, Van de Ven, and Verbruggen. In that order, Ballard, Guiu, Van de Ven. That's what I'd go, Graham. Thanks, Cody. Good luck with your thesis, mate. Catch you later. Yeah, I'd also start Munoz over Goodmanson and Porro, for sure. Cool. Good luck, Graham. Next week, mate, big one. We got to get bench boost going for you. Okay. Igor, Patrick, Capsy, JS, Star, Gav, Arteta, FC. Any of you guys here? Ready to go? 26 minutes to deadline. I'm going to get through them. Kudus, Enzo, Alexander, Senstad. Yeah, that's good. Let's get you in, Artets. Good timing, mate. Yeah, I got your ID. Austin, brilliant. Okay, Gabriel, Senesi, Michele, Guardiola, Stack, Anderson. Okay, Anderson obviously on the bench. 3 free transfers. Have you used any? Waltamada, it's really hard. This week it feels like it's been really hard to pick the teams. Like, everyone's just looked quite good. Oh, you could bench boost here if you moved Anderson. With 3 free transfers, you could definitely bench boost. Oh, you got Gabriel now. Okay, next week, bench boost. Gabriel's like absolutely effed everybody's bench boost possibilities this week. Raya, Gabriel, Senesi, probably played Gvardiol as well. Probably Michele be first on my bench, then Statch, then Anderson, Reinders, Fernandez, Semenyo, and Dai, Haaland, João Pedro, Waltamada. Yeah, I think your one's like not too hard. I'd probably bench Michele, Statch, Anderson, and Dubravka. And then the question is, do you want to make any transfers? I mean, I think the only question for you is, do you want to bench boost? If you want to bench boost, you have to get rid of Gabriel, which I wouldn't want to do just to bench boost. I'd just play it next week. Gabriel, Senesi, I don't love Gvardiol, but I think you keep him, and then next week he becomes a Munoz, and then Anderson becomes someone else. Or you could keep Gvardiol. Anderson could become Munoz next week, to be honest. Your midfield's lovely, like really nice. The only thing I'd suggest going forwards is maybe Reinders to Caicedo. Or to Sar, or to Gakpo, or to Sar, Gakpo, or to Enzo. One of those. If you feel like you want to make that transfer this week, I think that's okay as well. Like Reinders to an Enzo, a Caicedo, a Saka, or a Gakpo, but you don't have the money to all of those. Probably don't have the money to Saka or Gakpo. Probably only Enzo, Caicedo. Probably only Enzo and Caicedo. So if you'd rather go to one of the others, you can do it next week. And next week, I think you downgrade Jalp. Yeah. Next week you bench boost. You move Anderson. You can probably go Reinders up to Caicedo as well. I think if you can go Anderson to Munoz and Reinders to Caicedo, that'd be so nice next week. I'd even potentially make the transfers early if you're going to get priced out of that. But I think this week you can just roll. I only roll to bench boost next week. If you want to bench boost this week, you have to get rid of Gabriel, but I wouldn't do it. So I think I'd roll to bench boost. If you don't want to bench boost next week, then you can make transfers this week, and you can go like Reinders to Caicedo. You can potentially go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you'd go at the back this week. Your back line's fine. You can downgrade Jalpedo anyway. Yeah, I think you're good to roll. No worries, mate. Okay. Anyone else in the chat? Like, I've got 23 minutes. Maybe I'll talk through my own team, given that no one's here. You said you would bench who three? Guy, Kudus, Richards, Goodmanson, Dewsbury Hall, Senesi. Dewsbury Hall, Goodmanson. No, Dewsbury Hall, Kudus, Guy, Nikolai. Maybe I'll just flick over to what my team is then. This is what I'm looking like at the moment. 4-4-2. Brought Guy in this week just to bench him. Superb. You gotta love that decision making. Beautiful, Graham. That's what we want. It'll be 3 transfers next week, no? Oh no, 2 transfers next week. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean, I think that's what we need, because next week we're going to have to go, like, even if we potentially have to take a -4 for you on the bench boost, like, it's probably something to consider. But I think, if it works for your team going forward, I think it'll be Achimpong out, someone else in. Why am I not starting Guy for Lacroix? See, there's method behind my madness. Like, it probably might not make sense, but I think Guy will start, but I also think Sunderland are a good defence. And I think the likelihood of Guy scoring a goal is about as likely as Crystal Palace keeping a clean sheet against Arsenal. And maybe slightly more likely for him to score than Crystal Palace keeping it. But I think Lacroix is definitely going to get DEFCON there. And I think Arsenal have not particularly been amazing against a low block. I didn't watch the Atletico game, so maybe they absolutely dominated them, and I've lost the plot. But Palace are normally really good, like away from home, defensively especially. And I just feel like it's more likely to get like, and if Palace somehow did keep a clean sheet, Lacroix more than likely is going to get bonus as well, and he'll probably end up with like 8, 9, 10 points. Whereas if Guy scores a goal, he probably just gets 6. I don't expect him to score like 3 or 2 or 3. So I just feel like the ceiling's higher for Lacroix and the floor's higher. So that's sort of why I went with him. If there was one that I was concerned about, it would probably actually be Calafiori in my team. I have a funny feeling that he might miss out this week, and they play Hincapi. Oh, Cap. Fancy you turning up now, mate. We've been talking about you this whole time. Where you been? Yeah, come on then, mate. Let's do you. You've already made your moves. You need to tell me what your transfers are, Cap, because you made them all. So tell me what they are, and I'll tell you you're a genius. I thought you said you made your 3 transfers and took a -8. You're joking. You piss taker. You could. You're getting close to wanting to wildcard here. Oh yeah, 1 free. Oh man, this is tough. Dubravka, Senesi, Timber, Estev, maybe even Diouf if you always like these sort of guys. Lacroix or Rodon benching order. Probably Lacroix first. I think it's a tough one though. MCAX. Vice captain Salah or Walter Marder? Graham. Sorry, I didn't see that, mate. Salah. Doesn't really matter. All right, mate. Salah, Semenyo, Caicedo, Reinders, Isidore, Haaland, Matem. Who's the 3? Yeah, so I think your bench is Tavernier, Van de Ven, +1. And that can be a Mateta, a Isidore, or a Diouf. And whichever one of those should be first on your bench, and then Van de Ven, then Tavernier. So your option is a Mateta, Isidore, or whatever his name is. I said your bench is Verbruggen in goal, one of Isidore, Mateta, or Diouf, and then as your first bench option, you have to choose which one of those 3 to bench, and then your next 2 are Van de Ven and then Tavernier on the bench. So Van de Ven and Tavernier definitely on the bench. Pick one out of Isidore, Mateta, and Diouf. My gut's saying Sarr over Lacroix and Rodon. Yeah, I mean, if your gut says that, mate, you go for it. I watched him in midweek. I just thought he looked a bit gassed, and I thought he struggled against a low block. I think tactically against Arsenal was probably a better game for Sarr. Like he's going to have a bit of space to run into and play on the counter, which is what Palace are good at. So I mean, it is a good matchup for him tactically, I've got to say. So I mean, if you feel that way, go for it. I think he looks tired and his finishing doesn't look great to me, having watched the other day at Selhurst. Right now it's Diouf, Van de Ven and Isidore. I'd swap one of Diouf and Isidore with Van de Ven. No, wait, sorry, not with Van de Ven. Who's the guy I said? With Tavernier. With Tavernier, mate. Tavernier doesn't start. Did he start last week? He did start last week. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Yeah, I can live with that. I think that's all right, Cap. But Van de Ven will be last on that bench in that order. Is Gabriel totally injured as I'm bench boosting? I would say it's 50-50 whether he plays. I would probably guess he doesn't play, boss. But he's like a doubt because he came off midweek. But Arteta said he hadn't trained until Friday. Like, you just don't know if he's being truthful, Arteta. So you never know. Might be available. VDVs are... Yeah, I don't like VDV. Yeah. You got to try and move him to Munoz next week. So I think if you roll and you have 2 free transfers, you can go VDV to Munoz, and then just someone else comes out. Maybe Isidore comes out to a Guiu or a Creepy, and then your team looks quite nice actually. Actually, your team looks really nice, like a 3-5-2 or a 4-4-2 with Isidore out and Munoz in. Would be so nice. Your enemy has Munoz. Yeah, but maybe your enemy's right. I've had enough. Salah out. You got to think about a bench boost as well at some point. You just need to stop using all your transfers every week. Because you need to have a week where you save your transfers so you can then just make late decisions into a bench boost team. Which again, next week is a possibility for that with your team. Especially with 2 frees. I'm doing Mbemo, Ultimata, and Saka move, and then bench boost. Or what, next week? If you can get all 3 of those in and bench boost next week, then yeah, I think that's all right. Now, no, stop -8ing me. Nah, just give it a week, mate. Give it a week. I think your team's all right this week. I think your team's all right next week. You got a 900k rank increase last week. It's a great week for you. You're boring, always wanting me to roll. No, because you keep taking hits, and then you don't never give me an opportunity to be like, use your 2 free transfers, because you always got 1. I just want you to have 2, so then I can do something exciting. Because if you have Salah and Haaland, like, it's really hard for me to suggest something with your team with 1 free transfer, because you just got no budget and everybody else is cheap players. So there's never anything exciting to do unless you're getting rid of Salah, which, I mean, you could. But you have 1 free transfer. So to get rid of Salah, really, like with a Salah Haaland team, to do anything fun, you've got to have 2 free transfers, or you've got to take a hit, which I don't like doing. Which is why I always tell you to roll, and you always ignore me and make a transfer. Please, just listen to me once. You might get a green arrow. You never know. You never know. See if listening to me helps. Guys, 13 minutes to the deadline. I'll chuck my team up on the screen. This is what I'm looking at this week. To be honest, if I had a bench boost, I'd probably be bench boosting this week. But like, if I'm honest, like, I know you say keep a rolling pool, but I actually honestly do think that like attacking transfers at the moment are the way to go, because if you've got good moves to make to strengthen your team, do it now. Like, there are definitely moves to make. Like, I felt like Gakpo coming in for me really, like, for Kudus is like a big. Like, I'm going into that Liverpool game going, we could win 4-0, Gakpo could score twice. Like, I was never going to go into that Tottenham game going, Kudus is going to score 2. I mean, he probably does that now, but Kudus or Goodmanson start. I think I went Goodmanson, Nikolai. Can't remember the rest of your team. It's quite hard to pick when you don't give me a full team. I like Saka and Ultimata though. Yeah, well, I like them as well, but you could go like next week into them and not have to take a hit. Like Liverpool v Villa versus Liverpool v Brentford. Like, maybe you'd rather like Saka versus Crystal Palace, or like Salah versus Brentford, or Gakpo versus Brentford. Like, I'd rather probably go for them. My bench is stacked, yeah. Unfortunately, I bench boost game week 1. Who would have thought 4.3 Mark Guiu becomes an option? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this team. Like, I feel quite good about this team at the moment going forward. What I'd like, and what I'm going to do next week, is going to be Laquata Munoz. Like, 100% is going to be my transfer. I mean, like, unless there's injuries elsewhere. Unless Virgil van Dijk or Calafiori gets injured, I'm going to go Laquata Munoz. And then in the future, I'm looking to get Anderson to Caicedo. And I'm looking to get Calafiori to Gabriel. And then that's it. Like, that's probably what my wildcard team would be at this stage. I mean, Rodon ideally to like a Mukiele or a Ballard, but I mean, I don't really care. 4 mil on the bench. Plus, it's good to have a Leeds player in there for Rob. Got to support him. 10 minutes till deadline, guys. Nikolai, full team. Gabriel, Virgil, Senesi, Saka, Bruno, Semenyo. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'd have probably played. Yeah. I think that's good. I'd consider Richards over Goodmanson, but I mean, that's probably a bit too rogue. I mean, I'd consider Richards over Mateta as well. I'd consider Richards over Guiu. I'd consider Richards. Just he's good at DEFCON, man. Like, do you want me to show you the data? Oh, yuck. How do I get the, like... That's it. That's what I want to show. Oh, that's it. That's what I want to show. Where is it? Yeah, come on. Nah, kick off, mate. No giveaway today. Sorry, I'm gonna have to run in a minute because I'm off for some beers with my mates. So, Reece James or Kukurea with 1 week punt. Reece James, Matty boy. Hey, Matt. Also, hey. So, if you're looking at DEFCON, you look at this. This is defensive contributions per 90. And if we look at Richards, where is he? Here he is. He's at 11 at the moment. 11 defensive contributions per 90. So, I mean, he's pretty... Like, if I was to order this by DEFCON... Sorry. Oh, motherfucker. Sorry. If I was to order this by DEFCONs per 90, he's right at the top. He's up there with Anderson at 11, so it's pretty good. Dan Ballard, obviously the GOAT. I prefer Richards over Kudus, yeah, for sure, 100%. It's just like, unless Arsenal tear Palace apart, I like Richards. Like, that's why I was saying Malik Thior as well, because he's a little bit higher than Dan Burn. He's around the same as Botman, but he's just got a little bit more offensive threat. This is the... Oh, maybe I should let you be able to see this. Like, you can see expected goals, DEFCON, Malik Thior expected goals. I guess the one thing on Malik Thior is his baseline BPS is actually a little bit lower, and this is like BPS, like the bonus points BPS without clean sheets, assists, and goals. So, like, Botman is more likely to get a bonus if he just gets if they both get clean sheets, which is, you can see again from here. That's why he's at 4, whereas Thior's on 2, and then Burn. I mean, his bonus has come from the assist that he got, really. So it's a little bit different. I get it for DEFCON, yeah, okay. Well, I'm just showing the stats. And if you do want access to these stats, you can become a member of my channel. What a plug. Yeah, because I give this to all my members. They can, like, you can see by each price point, like, these are the cheap defenders. At the moment, it's filtered by points, but then you can just look at, like, the defensive contributions as well. You can see how Mukiele absolutely kills everybody, and his baseline BPS is mental. But that's also because he plays a little bit of right back, so there's a little bit more nuance to the stats that you obviously have to watch the games, but it definitely gives you... It's better than Fantasy Football Hub and Scout as well, to be honest, because these are actually accurate from FPL site rather than whatever the hell they use. And then, yeah, Virgil obviously leading the way above Tarkowski at the moment, which is why I'm sort of keeping him in the side. But Liverpool need to start performing these clean sheets. Need to start performing. And Gabriel is picking up decent numbers. Can you guys see the numbers there? No, you're missing. Oh. It's not showing on screen, is it? That's Gabriel. 9.38 at the moment. Yeah, so bit crazy, but that's the data. And if you want to see the midfield as well, I can show you. I mean, the low price mids are nowhere really. Actually, while I'm here, just pop that back to how I normally filter it, which is by points. It's a bit easier for my videos. Yeah, like these midfielders, you can see Xhaka's absolutely dominating. Oh, Amara. Hello, my team is Dubravka, Rodon, Van der Ven, Diouf, Esteve, and Dice, Salah, Foden, Richarlison, Holland, Verbruggen, Nico. Hey, Amara, by the way, mate. It's good to see you. 3 free transfers and 0.3 in the bank. Puts on Nico to Timber, Foden to Enzo, Richarlison to Sesko with 3 free transfers. Just make 2 free transfers to keep the last. Start my Goose, bench Richarlison. Make 2 free transfers. Don't go to Sesko. Yes. Yeah, 2 free transfers. Keep the third. You want to go Van der Ven to Munoz next week. Or Diouf to Munoz. And then you want to use the other free transfer probably on Richarlison next week. So yeah, put Sesko in the bin. And then next week bring in Munoz and and someone else up front. Yeah, so anyway, you can see here, like DEFCON wise, like Xhaka's far and away the best in this sort of. I mean, Florentino Luis is mental, but just such a small sample size. So valid. I think it was Abdullah that was talking about using him before. But yeah, start Mark Guiu, Richarlison, Mark Guiu, Obamara. And then, yeah, Caicedo's runaway in the middle. Plus, he also scored midweek again for Chelsea, by the way, in the Champions League. So I'd love to get him in. Anderson's up there as well. And Dye, this is how mental Dye is for me. Expected goal involvement's 0.5. Defensive contributions 11. Baseline BPS 13. The only thing is Grealish's baseline BPS is even better. So if Grealish ever does anything, he's getting bonus points. You can see that's why Grealish's bonus is so high, because he's just so mental. Like, if he does anything, he's great. And it's because of, like, how many times he gets fouled and all the dribbles and successful dribbles he does, etc. But Ndai is, like, good. He just gets done by Grealish. And also, like, understand that this expected goal involvement per night is including penalties as well, so it's a little bit overstated. And that's also why, like, his BBPS and his bonus isn't that high, because midfielders' BPS for penalties is 12 this year, which is not as high. Pope or Sanchez for my draft team? Pope? I think Paul. Paul, I think you've ticked over to a new membership badge today. Very exciting. The purple one. Is that 6 months? Congratulations, mate, if that is. And thank you, more importantly. Thank you. Oh, what a legend. So for anybody, how long we got? 1 minute till deadline. Shit, guys, come on, remind me. Yeah, in the chat. 1 minute, and then I've got to run. So make your transfers. Bloody hell, make my transfers. Have I got my team done? Who knows? Well, it's over. The game is updating, so I hope so. I hope it's all ready. I hope it's all done. And again, thank you, Paul, for being a member for so long on the channel. Appreciate you greatly. Thank you, everybody else, for joining, for being involved. Good luck this game week. Have an absolute cracker. I'm going to go out on the beers now. So have a fantastic game week, everybody. And I'll see you next week for some more videos. This has been your English Aussie. Catch you later.